enters a trial with a predetermined outcome. In a preliminary objection, Massit listed 12 issues with the tribunal, including allegations that the tribunal and the National Assembly's Justice and Legal Affairs Committee diverged from the initial petitions filed in Parliament. Massit, who has vowed to remain in the Battle Commission, is one of the 4 IEBC commissioners who are distanced themselves from the August 9th presidential election results, calling them opaque. IEBC Vice Chairperson Juliana Cherera and Commissioners Justice Nyangaya and Francis Wanderi have all resigned from the electoral body. A petition to stop the tribunal led by Judge Agri Muchelule from investigating the 4 was thrown out by a Meru court. Judge Edward Muriithi asked the petitioners to allow the tribunal to continue with its work and file a case against it.
The orders of the court at paragraph 20 of the ruling are that the petitioner's application and the petition, as well as other applications filed by the parties herein, shall be held in abeyance to await the determination of the inquiry process before the Constitutional Tribunal. 21. The matter shall be mentioned for directions as necessary on the 16th of January 2023.
And Senate Speaker Amason Kingi might be forced to recall the Senate to discuss and debate Meru Governor Kawira Mwangaza's impeachment motion after 67 out of 69 county assembly members voted to impeach the first-time governor. This despite a court order in place that stopped the exercise. Her fate now lies with the senators to either uphold or dismiss the impeachment. If upheld, Mwangaza will be the first governor to be impeached under the Kenya Kwanza administration.
I voted 67, the nay is 0, the abstain is 0, those absent were 2. Honourable members, I wish to declare the High Service and the Governor of Meru, Honourable Bishop Kawira Mombasa, stand impeached the Meru County Assembly.
Mwangaza failed to appear before the county assembly, maintaining that the meeting went against the court order that stopped the motion to impeach her, further threatening to take legal action. And Inspector General of Police Jafeth Koome has taken action against Makadara Sub-County Commander of a letter stating that terror group Al-Shabaab was planning attacks in some areas within Nairobi. Koome says the officer had not been authorized to distribute the letter warning of a potential attack. Makadara Sub-County Police Commander Timono Dingo had called for increased surveillance in these high-target areas believed to be targeted by Al-Shabaab for possible attacks this festive season. Some of the areas stated include the Presbyterian Guest House and Conference Center in South C, Our Lady Queen of Peace Catholic Church in South B, Nairobi West Mall, Capital Center, Garden City, and T-Mall. Meanwhile, Interior CS Richard Omolo has also dispelled information that the terrorist attack threat. He, however, said that security agencies are working round the clock to ensure the safety of Kenyans.
I think for now, what we need to do and what we are doing with our security agencies is to work around the clock to ensure the safety of Kenyans. I wouldn't say there is a threat as it is for now, but like any other festive season, ordinarily Kenyans are supposed to be going about their businesses to relax, and there is a likelihood that other elements might want to interfere. Just like we are talking about the illicit use of drugs and alcohol, there is a tendency that there will be a spike in that consumption.
Now, you won't have to worry about hiked fares and spending more on fuel on your car as you travel this festive season. This is because the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority has said that fuel prices will remain unchanged for the next 1 month. In Nairobi, the prices of super petrol will remain at 177 and 30 cents. Diesel are 162 shillings and kerosene 145 shillings and 94 cents per litre. This is the first time fuel prices have remained unchanged since the change of government. And France ended Morocco's World Cup dream as goals from Theo Hernandez and Randall Colomani gave the holders 2-0 win in the semi-finals.
This is the modern vibes on Vibes Radio. You join, God. Morning Vibes, where you are the MVP.
Let me hear a drum play.
Rise and shine to positive vibes with the MVPs every morning.
And now for our feature presentation.
Have a reggae morning on Vibes Radio.
There are so many people peddling what is false and that it bears remarkable resemblance to what is true.
Politicians have their agenda, and their agenda is to use every opportunity to sell that agenda and to loot this nation.
I have seen major strides that are done in this country when we talk to each other as against talking at each other.
We start getting back into the tribal cocoons which were put to us by the colonial powers. You know, they gave us physical freedom but not mental freedom. We're still mentally colonized today into these cocoons of tribe.
Now, if you live in an area where it's difficult to find a dog.
He's a goat. I kid you not.
In which part of this country is it difficult to find a dog? So that you resort. Nafandi hii umbo yako iko na pembe. Hii ni umba special.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
The man who looks at a beautiful girl and doesn't talk to her will end up serving lunch at her wedding.
Aya, City. Do like that. My father has killed a mouse. Will he fail to kill a man?
Ameua panya.
Small mammal, big mammal.
Mtu atamshinda.
I mean, I don't understand. What are they saying?
How are we comparison? I mean, you kill a mouse.
What are they saying? What they're saying is, my father has killed a mouse. Will he fail to kill a man? Name, surprise. Someone's name.
The name surprised you?
No, the name is surprise.
No, what am I saying? I'm from Nigeria, man. I met somebody called I Believe. So
See?
Your name is I Believe? Yes, my name is I Believe. But that's the short form. I said, excuse me? Said yes. My name is I Believe. So what's the full name? I believe in the goodness of
The following takes place from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every weekday on SpiceFM.
Thank you very much, Eric, and it's good to be at the Situation Room.
Always a pleasure coming here. This is the most challenging interview panel in Kenya. You guys are very well informed, and as you can see, Charles today very philosophical.
To be poor in this country is the greatest sin you can commit, not just from a legal perspective, but from life generally. Yeah. It is very, very skewed.
We just heard on the floor of Parliament, just most recently, a leader within the ODM saying that Sisi ni ng'ombe is a baba.
Yeah.
Which means that you are willing to be milked dry.
Hapo.
You cannot force me to believe. I'll give way. If it's land that I'm told to return to you, I will. Okay? Because the court has said so. But I'll continue saying, watu wamenirusha.
Good morning, welcome to Thursday. What do Nairobi streets look like today? It just might be a little crazy. We'll just have to wait and see what happens round about the other side of 7 o'clock. But for now, it looks good. If you're getting into parts of the city, coming in from Westerns, you're all right. And also off the Thika Superhighway, you should be fine. We're looking at a little bit of traffic that has started to build up on Mombasa Road, and that's getting out towards Outer Ring and then on towards North Airport Road, out towards the Eastern Bypass. That looks like it will continue for some time. Madness has not yet begun. Hopefully we can keep madness at bay as concerns traffic. We'll keep an eye on things. Let us know also what's happening where you are. And then let's talk on SpiceFM KE on Twitter.
SpiceFM Nyeri.
Good morning, Vibes Nation. It's Tatiana.
This is the Situation Room, the home of hard-hitting political commentary and penetrating insights about the state of the nation. This is a talk radio experience like no other. The Situation Room, a place for hard truths, debates, and elevated conversations. The Situation Room, witty, political, engaging, deep, controversial. In the room, we have C.T. Muga, researcher, academic, seasoned political observer, a fountain of wisdom in these politically uncertain times. Ndu Oko, Nigerian by birth, Kenyan by choice, communications expert, Pan-Africanist, a truth seeker and believer in people power, and Eric Latin, agent provocateur, the man in the chair, seasoned journalist, news hound, a man who believes in punching up, not down. This
It's
is
11
the
minutes after 6 o'clock. It's Thursday. It's what? It's Thursday. The 15th. Ama namna gani, my friend? It's the 15th of December. And how are you this morning? How are you doing? So you say yes. It's yes? What are you doing? You look like you have a geometrical set.
No, it's not a geometrical set. It's an earphone.
It's one earphone.
No, yes, a set. Yani,
A set of earphones.
both my ears.
Okay.
Okay, so it's because one would mean it's for one ear.
Sindio.
No, this one for two.
So if it's an earphone, it's one. So if you say it's earphones, then one could assume that it is actually two.
No. These things come like this for both ears. So it's one.
No. How many ears do you have?
When I last checked, there were two.
When you last checked, was that today?
Yeah, a few minutes ago.
Oh, yeah. So earphones. Phones inakwanga. Sababu ears inakwanga.
So when you add...
When you what?
I'm not asking you to use people.
Sissy, what's wrong?
Nothing is wrong.
You okay?
I am very well, thank you.
So, Bessie. Good morning. Hope all is well in the kingdoms with which you all reside in today. Glad to have you here. Eric, good morning.
Good morning.
How was your day yesterday?
Yes. What day was it yesterday?
Yesterday was Wednesday. Seeing as today is Thursday, it can only be that yesterday was Wednesday and that tomorrow will be Friday. Anything else?
So what did you ask?
How was your day yesterday?
I guess it was fine.
You guess or you're sure?
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
You don't remember yesterday?
I don't remember.
Man, yesterday is a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away.
Now it looks...
They're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly. Suddenly. Aya, karibu sana kwenye kiti.
Asante.
Over to you.
Already. Hai bwana.
Hivyo tu.
Mgeni siku ya kwanza.
Ngia.
Afanywe nini?
Sijui nini.
Lakini nini pia ni nini?
Alafu sijui nini.
Don't worry, life is like that.
Okay. We have a very good producer called Ednah.
She is.
Yeah? So sometimes she does things and then she puts in the other group and then she puts them in the other group. And then so you have to go looking for which group. Where has Ednah been active? So you can find.
Ednah is not a good producer. Ednah is a wonderful producer.
Ednah is the bestest.
Yes.
However,
when
it comes to grouping,
the group is not grouping.
Ednah understands the concept of plurality. Says a plurality means it's more than one.
She's a pluralist. Nimezipata.
Ednah ndio huyu.
Ameziweka kwa hii group ingine. Haya, let me tell you what we'll be discussing at 7 a.m. today. Charles Munyui is the executive director of Boda Riders Awards, and he'll be here because they are organizing awards for Boda Bodas. Muskezo. Boda Rider Awards, an award scheme fashioned as a purposeful attempt to inform, persuade, and motivate Boda riders to change their attitude and behavior to improve on road safety. The awards will be launched in Nairobi on the same day that they shall award safest rider in Nairobi City County. Nairobi City what? County. So he'll be here to tell us about these awards. So if you award Boda riders, it will now start changing behavior. encouraging behavioral change.
Every effort must be lauded. When someone sets on a path of trying to do good so that better good can come around, that it must be lauded.
So he'll come, we'll laud him.
We'll laud him properly.
And he'll tell us how we can support him. Also, at 9 a.m. today, we want to talk about how Kenya can lay the foundation to exploit the opportunities in the fourth industrial revolution. There's something called the fourth industrial revolution, Kenya, and it has a patron, and that patron is Gilbert Mugambi Osoro. Gilbert Mugambi Osoro will be here with us at 9 a.m. Alongside Vincent Kirioba, who's the director of Blockchain Analytica. They'll be with us at 9 to talk about the fourth industrial revolution and whether it will happen everywhere else, including Mesopotamia and past Kenya. Tell us about COVID.
Okay, let me do that quickly. Of course, we're looking at... No, the thing has even decided. The computer is not working with me today. Okay, voila. We're looking at global numbers of 655,530,006. The Ministry of Health tells us that there's an update 14 hours ago of the number of cases having been found in the country for those who've been tested positive. It's interesting because this note says that it's not people who've necessarily presented to hospital, but it's people who needed to have a COVID diagnosis in order to travel or something else. 54 people tested positive from a sample size of 933 in the last 24 hours. That gives Kenya a positivity rate of about 5.2%. Of course, we can't run away from what's happening in China. Just look at the headlines, and we'll go through this really quickly. Hospitals under strain in wave of infections in China. Cases explode in Beijing, leaving city streets empty and daily life disrupted. China reduces COVID-19 case number reporting as virus surges. China says impossible to track COVID spread as virus surges. China's COVID spike is not due to the lifting of restrictions, according to the World Health Director, Ghebreyesus. And it's interesting because this story coming out of the US that has been so quick with their media to report on Chinese cases. Excuse me. Really quickly.
Frog, get out.
I'm telling you, a Florida pastor and his son were arrested Wednesday in charges of fraudulently obtaining more than 8 million shillings in dollars. $8 million in federal COVID relief funds and attempting to use some of the money to do what? Buy a luxury home near Walt Disney World. Evan Edwards and his son Josh were taken into custody 5 months after an NBC News report raised concerns, or rather questions, over why they haven't been charged on the alleged scam, which federal prosecutors first identified in court papers in 2020 of December. It wasn't immediately clear if the family had hired an attorney, but a source familiar with the investigation said that previous reporting led law enforcement to prioritize the case.
What did these people do?
COVID.
Okay, tell us.
Okay. The case dates back to April 2020 when Josh Edwards applied for a $6 million paycheck protection program. Remember that they were doing that, They were giving money for those who may have been affected because of COVID lockdown. It was to cover payroll, rent and utilities for his family's ministry. In the
Church, right?
Yes, please.
Uh-huh.
In the loan
Zara.
No, please.
Okay.
In the loan application, he claimed that the organization, the Aslan International Ministry, had 486 employees and a monthly payroll of $2.7 million. International was ultimately approved for an $8.4 million loan. But when federal investigators showed up at the ministry's office, as they often do when huge amounts like this are involved in Orlando, the door was locked. And the workers at the neighboring businesses told them nobody had ever been inside. A review of the ministry's website found that the donation links were inactive and sections of text were apparently lifted from other religious sites, according to the complaint. There were other red flags. The man who was listed on the loan application as the ministry's accountant suffered from dementia and hadn't done any work for the organization since 2017. Federal prosecutors said this in court papers. Shall I continue?
Go on.
Federal agents descended on the family's home in New Smyrna Beach about 7 a.m. Wednesday. Evan Edwards was wheeled out of his house in a wheelchair. Agents escorted Josh, his son, out of the home and into a law enforcement vehicle, his hands cuffed behind his back. Do these look like people who are running a ministry? Okay. A 6-count indictment unsealed Wednesday accuses them of making a series of false claims in their PPP loan application, including that Aslan International had 486 employees and an average monthly payroll of $2.7 million. Evan and John knew that the actual number of employees and actual monthly payroll expenses were significantly lower and entirely non-existent, according to the indictment filed by prosecutors in the Middle District of Florida. The two men, who are originally from Canada, were hit with a total of 6 charges, including conspiracy to commit bank fraud and visa fraud. They are expected to appear in a federal court in Orlando.
Hey.
Now, today. One said, I'm glad they got arrested. It's been a long time coming. Yes, please.
They got $8 million from the government.
That's like 900 million shillings.
Support like that.
And all you had to do was say, we run a ministry and we have this.
We
and
have
then they lifted things from websites and put on their own. How wouldn't you give them money? After all. Nice. Very nice.
You know, these fellows are not really very good at these things.
Kama ni wewe ungeshikwa.
Mimi ningeshikwa kitambo. I'm not very good at some of these things. But in this country, you have a scheme where the government is paying you for what these guys are being paid for. Every other person and their cousin would have such a program and they'd be believable.
The guy they said is the accountant has dementia. Mliskia.
As we luckily have a real accountant who's a CPA.
Proper guy.
But the thing is, what is it about people wanting to get rich quickly and at whatever costs? What is it?
Kuna pesa bana city.
It's not a question of kuna pesa. It's not.
Imagine you've seen that the government is doing something, you think, how much more can we get from here?
If this story has come out, there'll be others.
There are others, I'm sure.
Where?
Hey. I'm sure some along the line.
Well, there are others. We have one where I remember they bought houses in Nairobi.
Yeah, they bought houses in Nairobi, they bought South Sea, they bought Mombasa, and they bought some in Delaware from Biden's hood.
And those were Kenyans.
It's 23 after 6. Let's take this break to take a look at the weather forecast. Are you online? We are already live streaming on YouTube and Facebook. Let us know where you tuned in from. We will look at who is online and give our usual shout-outs.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
This is 00 Direct, woman host, music by women, and only women guests.
Everything is so larger than life. You kind of have to have a good understanding of who you are. You could easily lose yourself.
We have a global approach in the programs that we put together, meaning that it's not just about refining my business, it's about refining the industry. It's about touching the youth and making sure that in totality, change actually happens.
Catch 00 Direct every Saturday from 10 a.m.
Only on 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
Clear conditions is what we'll see in Nairobi this morning. Currently at 16, going to highs of 25. And we'll see highs of 26 in a clear Nakuru at 12. It's 15 and cloudy in Nyeri, highs of 25. And it'll go to highs of 25 in a clear Eldoret, currently at 11. Mostly sunny conditions is what we'll see in Mombasa. Sun's up early, highs of 31 and highs of 32 in a sunny Malindi today, currently at 27. It's clear at 19 in Kisumu, highs of 28. And it'll go to highs of 28 as well in Kakamega, where it's mostly clear at 18. Looking out to Kampala, it's clear at 16, highs of 28. And we'll see highs of 32 in a rainy Dar es Salaam this morning. It's 17 and sunny in Johannesburg, highs of 25, and it'll go to highs of 32 in Lagos, where it's cloudy at 26. It's 23 and clear in Kinshasa, highs of 31 and lows of 22. Looking out into Beijing, Thursday afternoon is -2 and sunny. That'll be today's high, and it'll go down to lows of -11. It's -3 and clear. And some snow coming into Paris, highs of 11, highs of 1. And we'll see highs of 2 in London, where it's currently clear at -3, and it'll go down to lows of -4. 1 degree Wednesday night in New York, it's clear. Coming into Thursday, we'll see highs of 4 and lows of 0.
Chilled Spice. Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right. 94.4 Spice FM.
Tuned in from Limuru, huku tuko sama. Augustino, sama what? Sama what?
Sama in Limuru.
Is that ever a thing? Sijambo sana, listening kwa matatu on my way to Nairobi. That's Haran. Well, Karibu Nairobi. Vincent Chumba says, next time you should give us a candid discussion on assets and dead assets and then bring Julius Kipnetich onto the hot seat. Okay. How's that for prescription? Sawa, sawa.
Sawa.
Good morning from France. Shix Leslie says. Okay. Good morning to you too. Jambo. It's Justice Thursday. Kisumu Ikondani. Atieno Jackson is tuned in this morning. Jojo Mugele says, good morning, my Radio Trinity. Hope you are well. We are well. Nikondani Situation Room already. Karibu sana. Sijambo. Thika Room. Thika Road.
Thika Room.
Thika Room. Tumerauka na tunafuatilia kipindi. Good morning and welcome. I like it when I can read Swahili like that. It's very nice. Okay. James Oliver Muli says, good morning. Tuning from Mombasa. Kolwen Nyakach is where Cleophas is this morning. Hit me, says Marvin. Oh, okay. Zachary says, good morning. Kindly make sure you give us a chance to call in and censure the entire Meru County Assembly. Well, all right then. How about that? Off the blocks.
Sawa, Zachary.
Sawa. Imaradaima is where Enyati is. And MCR. Are you an MCR for real? Says good morning from Mombasa. And Kapenguria in a Sikiliza. Okay. John Amasongole says Hatujambo. And Joseph is locked in from 102.5 here in Kisumu and beyond. Helikaya Marenya says good morning. Bay is also tuned in. Always my pleasure seeing CT, Eric and Ndu in the house. Collins, we see you. Karibu sana, my friend. Good morning, Beatrice Ngenya. We see you. Good morning, Vincent Ogutu, Timothy Igamba, Okwiri Shadrach, Meme Boss. Oh, good morning, everybody. We can see you guys. Not being able to call all of you, but Karibuni sana.
Welcome, CT.
Yes, please.
Do you like that?
Yes, please. And should I do like that using that, my gadget?
Yes.
Hey, that your gadget?
Yes. Samsung.
Samsung Galaxy S 8
Ultra.
With S Pen.
Kabisa.
75
Magnetic
inches.
attachment. Shield strengthening, hardness, durable.
At a shield strengthening.
Hardness.
Meaning ile shield yake. No, it's one of the features.
Right. Hardness.
Yes,
Shield.
hardness, hard. Meaning it's not going to, if let's say it slips and falls down, it's not just going to shatter into smithereens.
Okay,
hardness. Goodness. You've got it, eh?
Yeah.
Got it.
Right. You know, this story of X number of days without charging is actually true. Because I charged this phone, God knows when. Did I call it phone?
I was just wondering, what are you talking about?
My mind and the phone.
Okay.
I charged this delightful tablet.
God knows when.
Yes.
And 3 days later.
It's still working. It's still on. But nonetheless, why don't I just read the proverb instead of waxing eloquently as I am?
Yeah.
Good wind is of no use to a sailor who does not know his direction.
Good wind
is of no use
to a sailor
who does not know his direction. No, not useful.
You don't know where you're heading.
So that good wind can be good wind, but for you it might as well be no wind because it could take you in the direction you didn't want to go. It's like we are told Christopher Columbus.
Wherever the wind takes me.
Yes. All those countries supposedly discovered, some of them are accidental. He may had set out to go somewhere else. Then this wind decided to take him somewhere else. Yes.
All right. Let's look at this proverb is still from that country.
We are still in Equatorial Guinea until tomorrow.
Okay.
When we'll bring an end to the proverb from Equatorial Guinea.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Whose capital is Malabo. All right. Whose president is?
Obiang.
Yes, brother Obiang. Kabisa.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, if you have not subscribed for the Standard Insider,
You're wilding.
you should not live in this country. Just get out. Leave us alone. Go to Standard Insider and get best content, the best news content delivered according to how you like to consume your news. www.standardmedia.co.ke for only 190 shillings. And with that, you save 100 bob every month. 190 shillings per month is a subscription. What's on the front page of the papers?
Bombshell. On the front page of the Standard, Masit. You know who Masit is?
Yes.
Masit is of the Cherera 4. She's the last man standing. She says, I will drop a bombshell on the polls. You people, you just here talking anyhow. I have something for you. And you just wait and see. I'll give you that story later. Right. Rally ace Maxine out on bail for domestic violence. That's on page 7. Kenya revs up nuclear plan in a new US deal. These deals are jumping everywhere. Be realistic, CS tells unions as teachers demand 100 billion shillings. Remember yesterday we saw the story where teachers are saying, boss, 60% is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The CS has said, slow your roll, folks. It's like it's impossible, but let's talk. MCAs in Meru have decided to vote unanimously to eject their governor. And Facebook, Meta, is facing 300 billion shilling suit over posts.
Okay.
There's many things happening on.
What?
On the front page of the Daily Nation, Ruto's kitchen cabinet, the inner circle. President William Ruto has crafted a tightly knit team of trusted allies consisting of security chiefs, financial and economic experts, information technology gurus, and business moguls in a bid to help shape his legacy. And the list of confidants is a mix of the new and the old.
Like?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Rally driver in ICU after brawl with lover. That's on the front page of The Nation. Of course, we see the repeated story of Mwangaza being impeached after just 112 days. The EACC is to recover 33 billion shillings in assets acquired corruptly. All right. On the back page of The Nation, the TSC releases guidelines for hiring the 35,000 tutors. Same thing. But remember what the unions are saying. You people should be careful. We will not allow this corruption that we usually see in the hiring of teachers. So we have our eye on you.
Who's saying that?
The unions telling the TSC, be careful. Be careful.
The MPs had waded into this thing a while back. And the TSC secretary, her name is who, Macharia?
The CEO of the TSC.
Yes.
Nancy Macharia. Yes.
I told them, kindly jump off.
This bandwagon that you've jumped on.
It's not your purview. that one, it's not your purview.
Now, the unions for which these teachers nestle have said, we know what you people normally do. Just please, we know.
But even these guys are busybodying, for heaven's sake.
The union.
You know, we're going to discuss this later, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Tell us what's on the front page of the Star.
Sita. Report proposes radical change to reform IEBC.
All right.
Remodel. It recommends presidential petitions be heard within 30 days. Okay? Then remember that top right-hand corner, the one where there's always someone that can...
Some interesting story.
Yes. Didymus Barasa says he revives the push to have pension paid within 90 days, meaning old fogies like myself who are supposed to be pensionable.
You retire like this.
This, you get within 90 days. The key thing is stay alive. Within 90 days.
You get paid your pension.
Yes. Right. Then, bang in the middle. Bang in the middle. First daughter's publicity gets mixed public views. There's real stories on page 2. Who is Charlene Ruto? And the story continues.
The Business Daily?
Didn't get. They had not come.
The thing happened.
But however, I have that.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
And the headline today
is the same headline we had yesterday.
Okay.
And the one on Monday also.
It's the same headline we had on Monday. Yes, the same thing of DRC Congo to blame. who else to blame,
I gotta ask you,
etc.,
Cece, do you carry the same East African every day, or do you go pick up a different one
for a day, every day?
Every day the same paper.
It's same.
Oh, okay.
Same.
Just checking. It would have been interesting if you picked up a different one.
No,
Daily.
the thing is, I would, but the news is the same.
24 minutes to 7. Let's see how the roads are looking like. City.
Yes, please.
Did you buy your tub of Kiwi?
I did not buy my tub of Kiwi. Please forgive me. I am really very sorry.
Why are you people doing this kind of thing?
No, I actually forgot.
Me too.
No, sincerely,
Do you
I
need
forgot.
me to be reminding you?
Yes.
It might help.
People are wilding in this Nairobi.
No. Today I will buy because today I'm going to the shops.
Bas.
Yesterday I was in meetings, took long. Everything. Then my mind did the thing. I forgot.
Today by 2 p.m. I'm going to send both of you a message.
Yes.
Please
If you
send.
like, don't answer. I'll show up
I'm
where
going
you
to
are.
buy.
Do that, please.
Today I will buy.
Make sure that it's a black Kiwi shoe polish. And then when you buy it, you open the lid. Check under the lid. You'll find a code. You'll dial *459*5#. Send the code. You'll receive some airtime or data instantly. And then you'll go into the draw to win school fees. 35,000 shillings worth of school fees going to 36 winners over 36 weeks. Why? Higher.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Congratulations. You've seen the hand of the Lord.
Thank you very much. I've earned another title today, this morning at SpiceFM. Mama Justice, I don't mind it.
Joel in Kericho.
Salama sana Heri, habari ya asubuhi.
Salama bwana, mambo namna gani?
Salama kabisa bro.
Mambo ya Inamoi kuliendaje?
Mambo ya Inamoi, vile nilikwambia ndugu yangu, alienda asubuhi na ile gari ya kwanza.
I must have missed it.
So did I.
Even if somebody was to render you irrelevant, there is still work you can do.
Okay, sawa.
I deserve to keep you accountable. You deserve to give me a report. You don't work for me. No, I don't work for you. You work for me.
Do you like that Freudian slip? Lovely, isn't it? Thank you very much.
The Situation Room, Kenya's biggest conversation.
It looks like the heavens are going to open at some point, so that means rain. And that means what? People slow down. And then that means what? It means traffic. But we're going to have to wait and see. So if you're out, you might want to take advantage of the empty streets that are there now. Looking at the Thika Superhighway, we don't have much action until you get right about Pangani. As usual, that little bottleneck slows folks down quite some. Jogo Road, there's some action there. It's moving really slowly as you're going towards the junction of the City Stadium at that roundabout. And we saw some action as well on Mombasa Road heading towards Outer Ring. Outer Ring is flowing, not too much of an issue. You're going to end up then coming round to the Thika Superhighway unless you're going towards Kangunda Road, Manyanja Road, or the other side of Juja Road into the eastern part of the city. Coming out of Westlands, you should be all right as well. Mombasa Road doesn't look too bad, but as you get to that Nyayo Stadium roundabout, things are going to chuck up a bit. So let's watch out for that. If you've not left, now would be a good time to do so. And if you have, you should have reached where you're going by now. Let's keep an eye on things through the morning. SpiceFM KE on Twitter.
Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right. 94.4 Spice FM,
Okay.
Nairobi.
I don't even know which one to start with, man. Okay, so Masit says she's got a bombshell to drop.
Yeah.
Exactly 5 days to the start of the Mushalule tribunal sittings. Commissioner Irene Masit has declared she will spill the beans on the conduct of elections and their aftermath. I am not ready to quit, and Kenyans should expect a bombshell during my appearance before the Judge Agri Mushalule-led tribunal. This is what she said when asked about what will be happening. She said the truth on elections will shock you. Commissioner Irene Masit yesterday said despite mounting pressure, she will not quit until she clears her name. She expressed fears for her security, saying her official vehicle, driver and bodyguard had not yet been reinstated despite directions by the tribunal chairperson. The commissioner also faulted a section of the media for unfairly targeting her, citing a recent report of high-profile visits by politicians to the Yaya to the Yaya apartments where she was residing with the 3 former commissioners after their Serena Hotel press conference. You have seen some stories in the media about Azimio leaders visiting our apartment. This is part of the bigger agenda to target me because the report is factually inaccurate. IEBC had booked Hermosa Hotel in Karen for the commissioners during the voting, tallying and announcement of results on the August 9th general election. The 4 of us moved to the Yaya apartments in Kilimani for fear of our safety, considering the sensitivity of the presidential election. The Mushalile tribunal had written to the management seeking information whether the commissioners resided in the facilities over the election period. The tribunal also sought particulars of the people who made the bookings, as well as the CCTV evidence. The general manager, Ednah Fernandez, confirmed that the 4 stayed at the apartment between August 15th and August 19th, occupying the apartments. 4 guests are identified as IEBC.
They occupied 3 apartments. 4 of them.
4 guests were identified as IEBC commissioners, and 2 went straight to the said apartments as one of the bodyguards and 2 other commissioners passed by the reception for the check process. They were, however, unwilling to provide their details, so we have saved the CCTV footage for ID and records. Now, according to Irene Masit, the Constitution does not give a Christmas deadline. The urgency of the tribunal to beat an unknown deadline is evidence of a predetermined conclusion, thus negating the bona fide of the tribunal.
Yeah. So bombshell will be what? She'll come and hope she doesn't implicate herself in the name of a bombshell.
Well,
let me tell you what we did in this election. Or let me tell you what they did under my watch. I mean, what would she be saying? Anyway, well, let's wait and hear.
We'll wait and see. And you know all this work, why we have to do it before Christmas. You know? We can do it after.
Yeah, I mean, must we?
Must we?
Must we finish? Surely. Higher, Meru MCAs have impeached their governor, Kawera, who? Mombasa. 67 of the 69 ward reps voted to impeach her. 2 ward reps were absent. Earlier, Speaker Ayub Bondi had confirmed receiving a letter from Kawera objecting to being impeached. He, however, ruled the Assembly would carry on with the matter. He said the Assembly and the Senate had the full mandate to handle the matter, saying during the impeachment of former Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko, it became clear the power on impeachment was exclusively upon assemblies and the Senate. The jurisdiction is exclusively bestowed in the county assemblies and Senate. He said Kawera had the opportunity to appear in the Assembly to defend herself. In the letter to the Assembly, she, through her lawyer, Mutuma Gishoru, had said, "You're also aware that the main petition is still pending and active before court to confirm compliance." He said by going on with the impeachment, the MCAs were flouting their own standing orders, which bar them from discussing a matter pending before court. But they went ahead. She threatened to sue the Assembly in the event it proceeded with the impeachment yesterday. She accused the Assembly of disregarding the court's order and argued that they had flouted the law, saying her petition in court against impeachment, which is slated for January 25th, has not been settled, and accused the Assembly of going against court orders. The Speaker's ruling gave Meru MCAs the go-ahead to debate the motion to impeach the governor. There were only 2 MCAs who were absent. Kiago MCA Simon Garuni, and the other one was Abogeta West MCA Dennis Kiogora. Kiogora had said he is unwell. Ngaruni skipped yesterday's session while Nkomo MCA Kethenji Ethaiba was reportedly sick. Kiogora took his colleagues through a long list of charges against Mwangaza, including hiring her husband, Vaishomurega, irregular hiring and sackings, and being disrespectful to the MCAs. Majority Leader Evans Mawera said, "Our governor has flouted so many laws, and for that reason, Kawera must go." Impeachment has happened. Next steps, Senate. Do you think the Senate is going to uphold his impeachment?
Nope.
Why?
She's a darling of the administration, it's clear. We've seen it before.
You know, the thing that stands out for me here is how, bless you, how it is the citizens of this country have started embracing our constitution and the laws that one finds therein. Mm-hmm. That people will nitpick on fine details of the law or of the Constitution and say, the Constitution says this, the Constitution says that, the Constitution allows for this, the Constitution doesn't allow for that. Now, but also, it's against a backdrop of political leadership who are still old style. They haven't moved. But by virtue of them being a political leader, they are the leader of everything. Yes, they're in charge of everything. And when you're in charge of everything, it means when you say something, it's the law. Far be it from me to determine what somebody is going to say, but I look at the statements that are made and you ask yourself, are our lawmakers aware of the Constitution? Are they aware? Because they are lawmakers. Are they aware of this position that they have and what's supposed to guide the very things that they are doing?
Well, one would hope, right? One would hope. As you say that, so everybody quoting the Constitution, but who doubles up and checks? When somebody says, according to Article 312 of the Constitution, how many people are actually sitting and looking at the Constitution and saying, hold on a minute, does a 312 actually exist? So when anybody can come and say anything. But for me, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. That when you are talking about the same Constitution, and then what you are legislating about, that is what we will know, whether you know this, what you're actually supposed to do or not. You can talk up a storm as much as you want, but let us see the work that's actually coming out from it. Let us see. Because one of the main questions here that somebody's going to ask, what has she done that you can then take and put against the wall of proof? Will it stand? Which is what the Senate then has the responsibility of showing us.
Well, if we were to go by the yardstick of the issues pertaining to the
impeachment.
Nope. Matters relating to COVID and matters relating to the procurement of COVID commodities and the role of the Senate in those particular matters, I would not raise my hopes.
That you remain impeached?
That the matters before the Senate will get the hearing and the outcome that perhaps is requisite. I will not hold my breath.
It's a political process.
Yes.
Right now, she's on the right side of the political divide, and that divide has a majority in the Senate. So, meh.
Yeah.
Nah. Unless that divide wants a proper UDA governor.
Eric, do you remember?
Not a UDA affiliate.
Eric, do you remember the noise that was made about the KEMSA procurements? And the huffing and the puffing and the blowing hot.
Yep.
And then the report comes and it's not, the report wasn't even a wimp. Senate.
People ate.
They ate KEMSA.
Oh, yeah.
What's that story you're telling us about IEBC reform stuff?
Yes.
Was it the one?
No. Same. Now, this thing, let me just read it for you so that it's on page 4 and 5. New report makes radical proposals to reform IEBC. Throughout the verification process, let me start again. Though the verification process ran longer than in previous elections, the speed of the transmission of 3A forms from the polling stations to tallying centers and the IEBC's online result portal exceeded expectations and promoted transparency during the process. It's part of the report. Okay? Now, the priority recommendations by the observers. This is by the observers. Yes.
This is which observers? ILOG.
Yes. And others. This is a sum total of the recommendations that were given by others. ILOG and others. Okay? May I continue? Urgently legislate to implement 2/3 gender rule in both chambers of the House. 1. Reform process of appointing IEBC chairperson and commissioners. 3. Clarify the role of IEBC commissioners across all functions.
5.
4.
You skipped from 1 to 3. You're doing odd numbers.
So we figured it's a pattern.
If I am the one reading it, I can number them as I see fit.
Okay.
So, 77? Okay.
Thank you. I see that you caught on quickly. IEBC undertake institutional reforms to ensure it acts as an independent, impartial, and cohesive body. But I thought he already did that. Okay. Apply Election Campaign Financing Act, that is in the Act 2013 on campaign spending. You know, that one went out of the window. So you could just spend as you saw fit. Willy-nilly. Okay. Enforce the ban on use of public resources during the campaign period.
Report. Let's move on.
Review the last one. Okay, last one. Review the period of hearing and deciding the presidential petitions from 14 to 30 days.
Okay. Sawa.
Sawa.
Thank you for that beautiful report. We shall take it under advisement.
Thank you very much.
8.
Okay, so. Okay, so the story is buzzing, right? Rally driver in ICU after being injured in domestic brawl. Kenyan rally driver Asad Khan, aka Kalulu, who was seriously injured in an assault on Jamhuri Day, is in critical condition at the intensive care unit of a city hospital. His girlfriend, celebrity safari rally driver Maxine Wahome, 26, was arrested over the attack. His brother, Adil Khan, who spoke exclusively from the Avenue Hospital, Parklands, said, "My brother is alive, although in critical condition and fighting for his life. He is at ICU at the Avenue Hospital." Adil said his brother lost a lot of blood and from the brutal assault on Monday. "My brother has been transfused 10 pints of blood at Avenue. We moved him from Nairobi to get blood A positive." According to Adil, his brother was injured by Maxine on Jamhuri Day after she allegedly returned home drunk from a dinner party that she had attended on the night of the 11th. Maxine returned home drunk after a dinner party and a serious scuffle ensued, which left him with a serious head and leg injuries. He further stated that from the injuries his brother suffered, it was evident that he was assaulted by other persons who were in Maxine's company. If my brother, who has trained Maxine in rallying. It is my brother, who has trained Maxine in rallying. He has assisted her family so much and has aided her to develop her talent, Adil said, adding that he will pursue justice for his brother. Police arrested Maxine for grievous harm, but she was released on bail. Upon prosecution and conviction, the offence could earn her a life sentence. During the bail application hearing, State Prosecutor James Gashoka Milimani told Senior Principal Magistrate Bernardo Choi that Maxine was arrested following a report made by Mr. Khan at the Kilimani police station as he sought to have her detained for 14 days to enable police conclude investigations. Gashoka added that the suspect is influential and most of the witnesses in the matter came from the apartment where she resides. We want to monitor the condition of the complainants, subject the mobile phone and SIM cards recovered from Maxine for analysis, and obtain the necessary reports that we believe contain crucial information. He also informed the court that the police are pursuing others suspected to be Maxine's accomplices. The state further wanted Maxine held to enable them obtain DNA samples from herself. But Maxine's lawyer, Steve Kimathi, opposed the application, saying she's willing to assist the police in their investigations into the matter. And according to Mr. Kimathi, the nature of the offence police are investigating is bailable. I urge this court to free the suspect on bond pending completion of investigations. He added that she is not a flight risk and that they would comply with any terms imposed by the court. In releasing Maxine on a cash bail of 100,000 shillings, Mr. Ochoy concurred with Kimathi that the offences charged are actually bailable, and he ordered Maxine to report to the investigating officer every Monday until the probe is completed or concluded.
It's a sad case. But then, this is again those questions that I keep asking. So police say they are investigating an incident that happened on Jamhuri Day. They take somebody to court and they say, we'd like 14 days to hold this person so that you can do what? So we can obtain DNA samples from them. And what else? So we can also
talk to people.
Take statements from her. And what else? So why do you need to detain somebody in a police cell for 14 days? Why? Is it that you have too much space that you need to fill up in police stations? What? I don't get it.
The rationale behind that is that you need the individual in one place.
Why?
That's what they've always
said.
What you need
to do is have this person not interfering with the crime scene, number one. And number two, set other conditions. Say, no, this person can leave, but what we'd like is that they be reporting to the police station on a daily basis at 4 p.m. Fine, but why subject somebody to incarceration? It never makes sense to me.
And it won't, because there's always a distinct difference between what it is that is clear within the law and what is the traditional practice. What we're seeing here is the monopoly of power that certain institutions believe they have. They can arrest you when they want. They can hold you for as long as they want.
Yeah.
They can do essentially they can do what they want.
What they want.
Yes, exactly.
And for them, by the way, in terms of, if you look at how police behave, it's part of the punishment. They've condemned you, so they believe that you're guilty, and so they're holding you. So it's part of the punishment. It's part of making you pay.
Yes.
For this wrong that has been committed.
And if it isn't that, they are essentially providing you with a situation of inconvenience and inviting you to participate in how you can lessen your inconvenience.
This is just crazy. It's a cost to the taxpayer to
It
hold
is.
somebody in police custody for 14 days.
Absolutely.
What are you doing? Unafikiri hiyo chakula unatoka tu
Hata si chakula. This person, you know who this person is. Is it a bailable offense? Question number one. We are being told it is.
It is.
So, okay, pay bail, continue with the investigation.
Moving on.
Yes. But the reason that is often given is that they may interfere. Interfere with who? With what?
Start speaking to people, speaking to witnesses, asking them to change the story in one way or another. That's the thing.
Really?
It's all, no. I'm agreeing with you. It's all coming from the premise that these folks believe that this individual is guilty. So they're saying that anything that you would do while out would be then to change the narrative. You get?
And you want to say
Yeah.
that one individual would actually be able to overpower an entire police department and interfere with the witnesses?
Well, that's the implication, isn't it?
That's what they're saying. That's the reasoning for which they're asking this person be detained.
And they're incompetent. It's that
Okay.
simple. It's that simple. That's all it means.
Give us another story, Eric. Well, it'll be interesting to see how this pans out.
Yeah.
And the hope is that he remains alive.
Yeah.
By the time you're hospitalized, they require that much blood.
10 pints is not a joke.
Oh, yeah.
No, it isn't.
No.
It isn't.
Oh, yeah.
And in critical condition.
Yeah.
The individual lost blood. They've been, anyway, let's wait and see how this story develops, shall we?
So Kenya is soon going to be in the league of, look, Iran, Iraq, and others.
The Arab League.
No. Those are developing nuclear for just domestic use.
For things.
Yeah. Kenya is set to sign a nuclear cooperation agreement with the United States in a new initiative that seeks to improve energy security cooperation between Nairobi and Washington. The MOU concerning strategic civil nuclear cooperation focuses on nuclear energy security and its civilian uses. The US-Kenya Framework Cooperation Agreement will set out how the two countries will cooperate on peaceful uses of nuclear science, such as in medical, agricultural, and energy fields, among others. Signing nuclear cooperation MOU with Kenya to signal that both parties seek to further our civil nuclear cooperation. Blah, 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 blah. The pact was made public by the White House yesterday, and will see the Joe Biden administration join the list of countries courting Kenya for the mouth-watering multi-billion-dollar deal to build a nuclear power plant in Kenya. Kenya earlier planned to build a 658 billion shilling nuclear power plant on a site in Tana River County over the next decade with funding from private investors. Russia, China, South Korea, and Slovakia have all signed pacts with Nairobi in the recent past that will see them assist Kenya in building capacity to set up its first nuclear plant. We're going nuclear, my friend. Nuclear power.
This is under nuclear.
Ah, yes.
Don't joke with us.
Nasema nini?
What? We've already sent satellites to space.
I'm telling you.
We even have a space station in this country.
Yes. Hiya. Keep it here for more conversations coming up in the next hour. We'll also be telling you about Naivas and how you can win and win big with Naivas this Christmas. Because what are they saying? Krisiki kwetu na Naivas. Good morning, 8:07 a.m.
Spice up your life.
The news at the top of the hour on Vibes Radio.
Good morning, this is Newswire. I'm Dennis Aseto. Embattled IEBC Commissioner Irene Massis has expressed displeasure with the ongoing investigations by President William Ruto's tribunal, terming it as a trial with a predetermined outcome. In a preliminary objection, Massis listed 12 issues with the tribunal, including allegations that the tribunal and the National Assembly's Justice and Legal Affairs Committee diverged from the initial petitions filed in Parliament. Massis, who has vowed to remain in the embattled commission, is one of 4 IEBC commissioners who have distanced themselves from the August 9th presidential election results, calling them opaque. IEBC Vice Chairperson Juliana Cherera and Commissioners Justice Ngaya and Francis Wanderi have all resigned from the electoral body. A petition to stop the tribunal led by Judge Agri Muchelule from investigating the 4 was thrown out by a Meru court. Judge Edward Murithi asked the petitioners to allow the tribunal to continue with its work and file a case against it later.
The orders of the court at paragraph 20 of the ruling are that the petitioner's application and the petition, as well as other applications filed by the parties herein, shall be held in abeyance to await the determination of the inquiry process before the Constitutional Tribunal. 21. The matter shall be mentioned for directions as necessary on the 16th of January 2023.
And Senate Speaker Amason Kingi might be forced to recall the Senate to discuss and debate Meru Governor Kawira Mwangaza's impeachment after 67 out of 69 county assembly members voted to impeach the first-time governor. This despite a court order in place that stopped the exercise. Her fate now lies with the senators to either uphold or dismiss the impeachment. If upheld, Mwangaza will be the first governor to be impeached under the Kenya Kwanza administration.
I voted 67. The nay is 0, the abstain is 0, those absent were 2. Honourable members, I wish to be clear, the High Service and the Governor of Meru, Honourable Bishop Kawira Mombasa, stand to teach the Meru County Assembly. Thank you.
Mwangaza failed to appear before the county assembly, maintaining that the meeting went against the court order that stopped the motion to impeach her father, threatening to take legal action. Inspector General of Police Japheth Koome has taken action against Makadara Sub-County Commander of a letter stating that terror group Al-Shabaab was planning attacks in some areas within Nairobi. Koome says the officer had not been authorized to distribute the letter, warning of a potential attack. Makadara Sub-County Police Commander Timono Dingo had called for increased surveillance in these high-target areas believed to be targeted by Al-Shabaab for possible attacks. This festive season, some of the areas stated include the Presbyterian Guest House and Conference Centre in South C, Our Lady Queen of Peace Catholic Church in South B, Nairobi West Mall, Capital Centre, Garden City and Timor. Meanwhile, Interior PS Richard Molo has also dispelled information that there are terrorist attack threats. He, however, said the security agencies are working round the clock to ensure your safety.
I think for now, what we need to do and what we are doing with our security agencies is to work around the clock to ensure the safety of Kenyans. I wouldn't say there is a threat as it is for now, but like any other festive season, you know, ordinarily Kenyans are supposed to be going about their businesses to relax, and there is a likelihood that other elements might want to interfere. Just like we are talking about the illicit use of drugs and alcohol, there is a tendency that there will be a spike in that consumption.
Now, you won't have to worry about hiked fares and spending more on fueling your car rather as you travel this festive season. This is because the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority has said that fuel prices will remain unchanged for the next 1 month. In Nairobi, the price of super petrol will remain at 177 shillings and 30 cents, diesel 162 shillings and kerosene 145 shillings and 94 cents per litre. This is the first time fuel prices have remained unchanged since the change of government. And France ended Morocco's World Cup dreams as goals from Theo Hernandez and Randall Colwani gave the holders a 2-0 win in the semi-final clash and set up a showdown Sunday with Lionel Messi's Argentina. It looked like France might make short work of their opponents when Hernandez scored inside 5 minutes at Al Bayt Stadium despite having a hostile crowd against them. But Morocco, the first African and Arab team ever to reach the last 4 at the World Cup, fought on despite losing key players to injury, only to see substitute Kolomwani still victory for the Bells with a late second. Dennis Aseto, good morning.
The Spice Newswire is brought to you by Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. Go ahead and get yours today. It's your time.
All right, a little bit of traffic now building up on Jogo Road. It's going out towards the City Stadium roundabout, and then it'll take you through to Kamkunji. It slows things down just a little bit in that area. The sun's coming up, so that fear of a drizzle seems to be dissipating. Not much movement on the Thika Superhighway. We probably won't see a lot of that then going into the weekend and into next week. That'll settle down quite some. Coming out of Westlands, that doesn't look bad either. Ring Road Westlands looking pretty good, as is Waiaki Way. James Gishuru is not spilling anything onto Waiaki Way, at least not for now. Langata Road looks good as you connect at the Nyayo Stadium roundabout, heading out towards Haile Selassie. So we've started off the morning right. How about we keep it just so? SpiceFM KE on Twitter. Let's talk there to keep things moving this morning.
This is the Situation Room, the home of hard-hitting political commentary and penetrating insights about the state of the nation. This is a talk radio experience like no other. The Situation Room, a place for hard truths, debates, and elevated conversations. The Situation Room, witty, political, engaging, deep, controversial. In the room, we have C.T. Muga, researcher, academic, seasoned political observer, a fountain of wisdom in these politically uncertain times. Ndu Oko, Nigerian by birth, Kenyan by choice, communications expert, Pan-Africanist, a truth seeker and believer in people power, and Eric Latin, agent provocateur, the man in the chair, seasoned journalist, news hound, a man who believes in punching up, not down. This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
7. Good morning and welcome to the second hour of the Situation Room. We're live on SpiceFM and KTN News and online on YouTube and Facebook. Ndu?
Yes?
DY's promoter, Kabeja, says, play me, give me love.
What's that?
What?
Someone is requesting a song.
This talk show.
Can we pass it along to one of our sister shows or brother shows and ask them to play that song for this fine person?
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't play music in this show.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's a 4-hour talk show.
It's by quality Kiwi. Okay, sawa. Sawa. Anyway, Helen Jogona says Gedima Monyo is well represented.
Well,
Mokubali hiyo? Do you know where Gedima Monyo is?
it's near that fictional place of yours, the Degwa.
No, the name wasn't fictional. It's real.
It's real.
Believe me, it is real. Kiamburu, it is very real.
Yes. Just like the Loch Ness Monster.
You know, this is the problem of not traveling around Kenya.
I troop.
And it's
I
not,
troop quite
by the
some.
way, even from where we are.
You've been
at the
to
moment,
places just that you don't know what those places
are called. Okay. And there's some are this way and some are that way. Isn't
Yes.
it? Okay.
Whenever you get to a new place, look at the shops, look around, look at the signages. You'll see a school sign, a church sign, or a shop that has the name of the place.
Like when we went to Kilifi, I saw Spice Parlor.
Yes, that place is called Spice. So the name of that place? Spice.
Okay.
We have a guest in the studio and we will be talking about Boda Rider Awards. Before we welcome him, let him hear the day's proverb from C.T. Muga, who's reading it from his 14, I don't know how many inches. 14.6 inch
Yes.
Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra.
Correct. Hey, you
with
got it right.
S Pen.
Right.
And I don't know what hardening. What was it?
Hardness.
Hardness.
Hardful.
Platinum hardness. If it falls, it will not break. What was that?
Right. And with an AMOLED screen. As well.
An AMOLED
That gives you
screen.
a crystal clear display. Need I say more?
Yeah, you can say more, but no, not now. Tell us the problem first.
Right. Good wind is of no use to a sailor who does not know his direction.
Good wind is of no use to a sailor who does not know his direction.
And the wind we're referring to here is the wind that blows when you are outside. So
thank you very much for that clarification.
That's the wind we're referring to, okay?
Not the sailor's wind.
No, not the sailor's wind, and not him passing wind. That's not the reference point.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
This is, yes.
You know, it could work still anyway.
So, yeah. If the sailor does not know the direction of the wind, his good wind
is downwind.
All right. Charles Munyui is the executive director of the Boda Riders Awards. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning to you. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
It's a pleasure being here, Eric, Muga, Do. I appreciate, and allow me not to comment on the wind.
You're not a sailor.
No, you're not a sailor. So
it is definitely not my wind, so. And I know the direction I'm headed to. So
okay,
yes.
You know the direction you're headed.
I know the direction you're headed to.
Karibu sana, Charles.
Asante sana.
This is Kenya's biggest conversation. That's a hot seat.
Yes.
So start by telling us, what do you do, Charles?
Well, I am a governance consultant. I have a degree in law. I have a degree in economics from the University of Nairobi. I do a bit of politics. I vied in Kiamba, performed dismally.
Vied in Kiamba for?
Member of Parliament, National Assembly.
In 2022?
No, earlier.
In 2017?
Yes, and performed very badly. So
when you say performed badly, what do you mean?
I didn't get it. I lost in a bad way. I mean, I got very few votes, and it was not stolen.
Charles, you got some votes.
Yeah, I did.
Then
what's the problem?
That's you know, it's like getting a very bad grade, and then you're going like, I did. But you didn't do well.
That's evidence you sat for the exam.
You know, someone told me if you laugh at yourself, nobody else is going to laugh at you.
Indeed.
I agree completely, but the reason I'm laboring this point, the courage it takes to actually even present yourself, that's the monumental thing.
Yes.
Now, when people determine that they don't share your view, that again is information. Now, once you have that information, you are actually really, you're in a very good position to determine, as you say correctly, you know the direction you want to go to.
Precisely. In fact, I am not saying I'm not going to get it.
Yes.
In fact, I could go for a bigger seat.
Yes.
This has nothing completely to do with the future in terms of my politics. I will definitely get a good seat, a big seat, but I'm admitting at that particular time, that's a fact. I did not perform well. And I think that's a problem with our politicians.
How many
they don't admit that they didn't do well. You'll find you flopped, it didn't work, and then you're busy here telling us, blaming everyone. And the one person that you want to blame is yourself, but you run away from doing so.
So why do you think you lost?
Because people are not ready for me at that time. Because I know I'm a good leader. I can do these things. I can communicate. But our politics is such that, number one, especially around that time, Jubilee was very popular. So if you don't get that ticket, if you don't find a way of getting that ticket in the first instance, then it becomes very tricky for you. So it was a question of the primaries. If you're not in good books with the people who can be able to literally give you the ticket, then running beyond that becomes tricky. So, but that's a story for another day. Again, politics is not just about being good. It's about ensuring you do the right things. Yes. Good.
Hi. You're here because you're the executive director of Boda Riders Awards.
Yes.
What are those?
Well, this is an award for Boda riders in this country. I think all of us have interacted with Bodas. And let me start by saying they are good people. In fact, all of us here, I am sure you have that rider that you rely on for gas, for this, the other one that you send even for medicine, that you'll allow into your home in one time because they are good to you. But when they become collective, there is a way their behavior is not that well good. But if you look at it critically, this is an industry that's really huge. You're talking about 400 billion worth and employs directly, indirectly around 10% of Kenyans. So that is it in perspective. But in terms of now out there, a lot is happening, and especially in the area of road accidents. It's disastrous Of course, I don't even want to go into the area of what people say about crime related to border riders and all that. But road accidents, can you imagine losing 1,000 people in less than a year that are riders? That basically these are young people, energetic and all. Many of them in hospitals as well. Losing others who are passenger pillions and road, other road users simply because of small things that can be resolved. So we looked at it and we said, government enforces things. You literally bash people to behave in a certain way. But if we motivate them to self-regulate, drive them towards self-regulation, it is likely when they are self-regulating, the results will be better. The number of accidents will reduce, and basically help them change their attitude and belong to an association, say a circle, that will help them now self-regulate. We thought it looked better that way. So we said, why don't we award them something? Give them, if you're the safest rider in Nairobi, for example, we'll give you 1 million shillings. And you're voted for by the pillions, the passengers that you're ferrying from point A to point B. And no conditions whatsoever. Don't send us a coin, don't register, just ferry this person from point A to point B, request them to dial *519 *72#, and you get a vote. That vote, as long as now when the evaluation period is over and we confirm that you had a valid license within that evaluation period, you had the ride or the motorbike was properly insured, and you belong to a circle, then you get 1 million shillings if you have the top number of votes. It's that simple. So zero conditions almost, other than the basic things that you're supposed to have as tools of work when you wake up in the morning and go to work. And of course, when you're talking to the passengers, or rather the consumers of the service, we are requesting them, confirm you're voting for this guy because you feel safe from point A to point B. You are handed the requisite helmet and right wear, including the high visibility jacket, and he respected other road users and obeyed the law. So if he's done that and requested you to vote for them, vote for them. So we are looking at it from both sides, from your perspective as a passenger who will interact with this person on a minute-to-minute basis, and then, of course, the other aspects of the law and regulations, and you're good. You get 1 million out of nothing. So the biggest thing here is that you'll belong to a circle at the end of it all.
Charles, what if you're number 2?
If you are number 2, this is a pilot. Let me put it this way. This is a pilot. So at the end of this, when now we award the 1 million shillings, we launch in February the national program. So we are looking at this as a pilot and a launch for the national program. Pilot basically so that we pick up things that we had not picked along the way, so that we can have them in terms of the terms and conditions of the national. But if you are number 2, not this time. Yes.
So which means number 3 also not this time.
Not this time.
Okay.
But the bigger good is you'll have been a safe rider. Yeah. And
you'll have been recognized by your customers.
Precisely.
Okay. Is there an acknowledgement of what the problem is? Because by the time we're saying award, so that this probably will, we talk about a deterrent to stop people from behaving a certain way. Yeah. So here's an award to encourage you to behave in a certain way. Yeah. Is there an acknowledgement of the problem, that this being seen as one of the ways to solve it?
Yeah.
And then is there permanency in this solution? That will I behave in a certain, because the word is going to spread in a minute.
Yeah.
That they're giving 1 million shillings if you behave in a certain way.
Precisely.
How do we secure that kind of behavior amongst? Because we cannot run away from the fact that this sector has been getting the hit in terms of how they've been behaving on the roads, and then the attitude. I mean, there's the whole thing. You hit a Boda, or somebody hits you, for example, you better run away.
Yeah.
Because the mob justice that will ensue thereafter is something to be told. So is there security of permanency in this solution? After the 1 million shillings, what's to guarantee
sustenance?
Exactly.
Yes. The reason as to why this industry is that it's the way it is because it's very porous. If you look at it critically, you wake up in the morning, there's a joke about how these guys train to ride. That 1 minute you're standing somewhere and someone is being trained, they are sitting on the pillion seat, the passenger seat, and they are holding and the rider is helping them appreciate from the back that this is how you ride. If you hang around there for 5 minutes, the guy who was the trainee, will be coming this way now, with the passenger as the person who was training them. They have learned the art of doing this, and the next minute they'll be ferrying pillions from point A to point B. So in terms of sustenance, we are saying the reason as to why this situation is this way is because these guys have no way of being regulated. If you cannot belong to a SACCO if you don't have a rider's license, you cannot belong to a SACCO if the ride that you are operating or the motorbike that you're operating is not properly insured. There are basic rules and of engagement when you belong to an association, so you must comply by the same. If you belong to a SACCO, then the discussions around the SACCO, and then subsequently we up it in terms of the regulator, the NTSA and the police and the county governments, they'll find it much easier to deal with the SACCO as opposed to dealing with individual riders. But now, having said that, the aspect of what we are doing, the biggest thing about what we are doing is ensuring that people join SACCOs. It is that simple. Because and we don't have a SACCO, so it's not like we have a personal interest in this. We don't want you to join our SACCO. We are just saying join that SACCO that is properly registered out there by government. And then the rules, the terms of engagement in terms of NTSA as a regulator will guide you on how you operate from within there. It becomes much easier and sustainably so moving forward. You find quite a number of them, a big percentage don't even have rider's license. And that is the biggest problem. In fact, most of them are even underage, as it were, and completely inexperienced. So most of these accidents can be avoided, by the way, by having the right people doing the riding, as opposed to just anyone waking up in the morning and they're all over the place, ferrying people. Nobody wakes up in the morning to go to work and die or kill someone. And I think it's not right that should be happening. So we are saying in terms of sustenance, it's going to happen. The moment you are in a SACCO, it becomes easier even for the people who have that mandate of regulating as government, NTSA, to now be dealing with the respective SACCOs and say, we have established there is this rider from this is the motorbike, and ABCD happened. Of course, the government has a responsibility as well, because it is ridiculous that, incidentally in law, a motorcycle is a vehicle, is a motor vehicle. Yeah, there is this assumption that motor vehicles don't subscribe to the Traffic Act, which is ridiculous. A motor vehicle is just a motorbike is a motor vehicle, a two-wheeler, a certain weight. So basically, they should be subscribing to everything that is provided for in law. But look at the intersections and the roundabouts and the lights. These guys don't stop, and the police are there, almost waving them on. Like, we are not supposed to be dealing with you. We are supposed, but they have the audacity to stop a small car, which is almost, could be even the CCs are less than that of a motorbike. But they allow these guys to do all manner of things. They'll even be there, and this guy has no insurance whatsoever, but they allow them. So the police will also naturally be required along the way as we do activations and all that. The police, doing your work is not wrong. You cannot, and this is not politics. You must do your work. If a motorbike is there at an intersection, they must wait until the lights change, or you wave them on to move. So these are the basic things. It's not one-off. It can't be done by just this thing that we are doing, but we want this consciousness to arise in us as Kenyans across board, so that we start now dealing with this thing. Can you imagine COVID? Since COVID came, and I'm sure you have the statistics, 5,600 people or thereabout have passed on, which is sad.
Yep.
COVID. This year only, road accidents have cost us more than 4,000 people.
Yep.
This year, in road accidents. Out of that, 1,000 plus road riders, 400 billion passengers, and over 2,000 pedestrians. So we are saying the efforts that were put in to ensure that COVID did not kill all of us. Look around you. The same policemen we say are corrupt were there closing even restaurants where you take tea. Nothing harder than tea, but they were there and doing a good job closing down restaurants and ensuring you can't even take mandazi from, you either pack it and go home or is literally shut down. You make your own mandazi at home. The same fellows we are talking about. So if we put our heads together and say this industry is a good industry, we need it, is employing our people. It is big in terms of the revenue it generates. Can we sit down and look at it in perspective and ask ourselves, why don't we work around this and ensure it works? Yes.
Charles, do you ride?
No, I don't. Scares me.
Do you own a motorbike?
No.
Like, are you in the business of Boda?
No, I'm not.
So what motivated you to do this?
Just look, I run an organization called One Love Kenya. One Love Kenya is about coming together and resolving. It's registered way back in 2014. It's non-profit. And it's about looking at things that affect us and working together to resolve them amicably, you know, without necessarily waiting for government, as it were, because I think we also we need to appreciate that we are part of government. That's why it's a government of the people, by the people, for the people, on paper, most of the times. But you resolve things. So you look at things that are troubling you and come up boldly and at minimum talk about it. But if possible, do something that will change the dynamics of
initiate a solution.
So I am not in the boda industry. I don't have bodas. I don't even have a matatu. But I have lost friends. Lost quite a number of friends. In fact, one of them is a gentleman I was with 3 days before he passed away called Steve, and I think was trending all over. He died in an accident a few weeks ago. He used to vie in Laikipia as a senator. So, and used to be a student leader for Mount Kenya University Student Association, MKUSA. So along the way, you've lost people, and you wonder, really, should it happen? This is a young person whose kid is hardly 6 months, the firstborn. And obviously the wife is equally that young, just a graduated the other day. And those are the people that have died courtesy of accidents. So is it possible to do something about these things without necessarily it being for personal aggrandizement? It's not about gaining, or it's not about I am in this industry, so I need to do something to either benefit or help myself, so that I benefit as an industry player. So this is about creativity. Of course, I'm not alone. I have a few colleagues that we work with and a few partners. Even the 1 million shillings is not been given by anybody, just contributed. Like 5 of us decided, let's do this. And we are not asking you to register. We're not asking you to send us anything. So it's not about, this is not lottery or anything. It's not about, this is money we've given.
So the initial seed is actually basically ours. The 5 of you who've decided you want to reward the best voted Boda rider.
Precisely, the safest.
The safest Boda rider.
Yes.
So this is like a user review, sort of.
Yes.
It's like you use a Boda for whatever. If you're a pillion passenger or you're using a Boda as courier, then you vote for your favorite Boda.
That is correct, yes.
And is there any criterion? Like, are you voting for safety, for cleanliness, for politeness, for customer service, or is it just send a vote to this number?
The bottom line is safety. And safety is your safety and that of the rider. But did you feel safe from point A to point B? Did he endanger himself and yourself or other road users? And did he obey the law, or did she obey the law, for that matter? And safety is about a helmet. Is about a helmet. It's about a high visibility jacket for yourself and for the rider. Did you have those? Did he offer you those things, or did she offer you those things? Along the way, did he go the wrong way? Have you noticed Boda riders have a habit of, this is the right way, but the wrong way is here. The right way is here, but they go the wrong way. It is even easier to go the right way. It is way easier to go the right way, but they'll go the wrong way. It's ridiculous. So we are saying, did he go the wrong way? Did he do all those things? Did you feel like he respected other road users? Because that's also something that needs to happen. So it's very simple things. And basically we are saying, did this guy wake up in the morning and do his work as he should be doing his work? Yeah, so that he goes back to his family in the evening, or her family in the evening, healthy, safe, alive, having not killed anyone, having not maimed anyone or himself. Yes.
It's something that is noteworthy. That when the boda industry took off and began to change our lives, it also changed the institutions of health in this country.
Yes.
Because in many hospitals, there was a ward dedicated
to Boda riders, to
Yes.
Boda people, accidents
Yes.
related to Boda Bodas. Yes, it's true.
Now, that alone tells you just the numbers who passed through there.
Yeah.
But are we going on to a break?
Let's take a break.
Okay.
As we take a break, Charles,
Yes.
I'd like you to grab your mobile phone just now.
Okay.
Now that you want us to send this vote, you haven't launched. Can we start voting today or
Yeah,
not
yeah,
yet?
yeah. It's already on. It's already
So I'll do the thing and then you'll do the thing. You tell me
Okay.
what's the number that I need to dial to vote.
Star 519.
Star 519 star
hash. Yes.
519 star hash.
Star 519 star 72 hash.
Star 519 star 72 hash.
Yes.
And this is if you use a Boda service.
Yes.
And you like the service from the Boda
Yes,
rider.
yes.
I mean the Boda rider.
Precisely.
Vote for them by dialing star 519 star 72 hash.
That is correct, yes.
Okay. I've done that on my phone. Now on your phone,
Yes.
open a new message.
Okay.
Okay.
1 minute. New text message.
New text message. And to the recipient, type 22365.
22365.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the body of the message.
I send?
No, in the body of the message.
Yes.
Write the word Vipingo.
Vipingo.
Send. You will receive information about Vipingo development
Yes.
by Centum Real Estate
Yes.
in Kilifi.
I send.
Yes. They will give you all that information about Vipingo the Vipingo development in Kilifi. They are
Yes.
doing very beautiful residential apartments, studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, from
Great.
as low as 2.45 million shillings. And all you need is a deposit of 245,000 shillings. And you can also buy villas as well. They'll tell you about the villas that they have. They'll tell you about the development that they've had there and the people who are already living
Amazing.
in that development. All right.
Great.
So you've sent Vipingo to 22365.
Yes.
Sawa. They will give you that information. You'll tell us shortly when you receive feedback from them.
Okay.
It's 28 minutes to 8. This is Kenya's biggest conversation. Charles Munyui is the executive director of Boda Rider Awards. He is not in the Boda business, but he's a concerned citizen who came together with his friends and they decided, you know what, we'd like to start something, a conversation that brings meaningful change and behavior change in our Boda sector. So they have started these awards. If you are riding, if you use the services of a Boda rider and you like them, you can vote for them. And Charles and his friends are saying in this initial phase, we are awarding the best voted Boda rider with 1 million shillings. 1 million bob if we vote for them. This is about safety mostly. Did they do the right thing in the right way? Are they wearing a helmet? Are they wearing a reflective jacket? Did they give you a helmet? Did they give you a reflective jacket? Did they obey traffic rules? Were they polite and all? Vote for them. 28 to 8. We'll be back shortly.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
It's that time of year again when our voices get to count. It's time for the Pulse Music Video Awards, the great edition to be held in Nairobi on the 21st of December. And we need to hear you louder than ever before. The names are out, and it's all up to you, the fans, to vote for the top artist of the year, best music video, song genres, music producers, video vixens, and more in the Kenyan music industry. You can visit www.standardmedia.co.ke/PMVA to vote just once, but still show some love for your favorites through text by sending the word PMVA followed by your nominee code to 22845 as many times as possible. Voting closes on 15th December, so you better start voting. Imeletwa kwako na Kenya Kane, the iconic Kenyan spirit. Pulse Music Video Awards, the only way to get alive.
Get ready to fall in love with the new Samsung Galaxy Buds 2 Pro, featuring intelligent 360 audio which makes the sound feel more realistic than ever before. Not only that, they can feature enhanced head tracking, making every movement stay in sync so you get an immersive experience. Designed to fit comfortably, the Samsung Galaxy Buds 2 Pro will also help you stay connected by automatically popping up on your Samsung Galaxy devices, and with just a tap, you can connect. As simple as that. Available in all select Samsung stores countrywide. It's a magical Christmas at Westgate Shopping Mall. Spend 1,000 Kenya shillings and above and stand to win an all-inclusive Mediterranean cruise to the most beautiful cities in Europe. Visit Rome, Venice, Barcelona, and get to bring someone with you. You also have the chance to win once-in-a-lifetime balloon safari over the Masai Mara and a luxury stay at Marangecha Camp, and the opportunity to win 500,000 worth of luxury furniture from Queen Picks. It's magical, and it's all yours to experience simply by shopping at Westgate Shopping Mall.
The festive season is here, and it's that time to enjoy a polite drink of your choice and nyama choma with friends and family as we wind down to the end of the year. This time around, Team Naivas wants you to know that nyama choma is on them because kila Mkenya ni mshindi thanks to Krisi Kikwetu offers at all Naivas branches across the country. Join me, Edward Kwach, on the Spice Drive from 3 p.m. every weekday to learn more about the Krisi Kikwetu discounts, rewards, and prizes you can win at your local Naivas, and also for a chance to win special festive season vouchers for yourself and your family, courtesy of Team Naivas.
It's Christmas time, that wonderful time of the year, and Team Naivas is here to make sure all your Nyama Choma plans with friends and family go off without a hitch. We hope that you're as excited as we are to celebrate this Krisiki Kwetu with wonderful offers at all 90 Naivas branches across the country. All you have to do is visit a Naivas near you with your reward card, do some shopping, and you might win shopping vouchers, Ambuzi for your tasty Nyama Choma, a 65-inch TV courtesy of Coca-Cola, and get 200 bob instant cash back when you tap to pay for goods above 3,000 shillings with your Visa branded card. There's also plenty of offers for everyone at your local Naivas because with Team Naivas, Krisiki Kwetu, kila Mkenya ni mshindi. So what are you waiting for? Visit your local Naivas today.
What we're looking at in Nairobi at 17, highs of 25. We'll see highs of 26 in a sunny Nakuru at 12. It's 15 and cloudy in Nyeri, highs of 24 and highs of 25 in a sunny Eldoret at 12. Mostly sunny at 27 in Mombasa with highs of 31, and we'll see highs of 32 in a partly sunny Malindi at 27. It's 19 and sunny in Kisumu with highs of 28, and we'll see highs of 28 as well in Kakamega where it's sunny at 19. Mostly sunny at 20 in Kampala, highs of 28, and we'll see highs of 32 in a rainy Dar es Salaam at 26. 19 and sunny in Johannesburg, highs of 25, and we'll see highs of 32 in a clear Lagos at 26. It'll be 22 and cloudy for most parts of the morning in Kinshasa. It will go to highs of 31, back down to lows of 22.
Spice FM. Spice up your life.
North Airport Road with some traffic this morning. The Southern Bypass looks pretty good. However, you can use that to get out of whatever may hold you up on Mombasa Road. Lunga Lunga is packing up, as is Likoni. That's spilling over towards that interchange, crossing over from Enterprise. Jogo Road, not too bad. It's just inching along as you get out towards City Stadium, and then you're going to get to Landis, and boom, there's traffic all the way through to Kamkunji, which spills over then to Haile Selassie, connecting with Gong Road. There's a trickle of traffic coming in from Gong Road, but you should be all right. State House Road looks good. Ring Road Western's good as well. Coming off Waiaki Way, we're seeing some traffic here and there. It's not too bad on the Thika Superhighway till you get to Pangani, and there's in and outbound traffic on Kiambu Road. Let's know what's going on where you are. SpiceFM KE on Twitter.
Spice and everything nice.
Spice up your life. Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right. 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
Continues. This is a Situation Room on Spice FM, online, Spice FM KE, YouTube and Facebook, and on KTN News. Charles Munyui is an active citizen. He is the executive director of Boda Riders Awards. And they've launched these awards, and they're saying if you use the Boda rider and you like their services, you can vote for them and they'll be recognized and rewarded nationally. Have you broken it down into counties, into regions, or is it wherever you are, if you use a Boda and you like, you can vote?
At the moment, the USSD code is only open for Nairobi riders and users, as it were. Reason being, we wanted to run a pilot. So what is going to happen is that the pilot we will award in February, and the same awarding will act as the launch for the national program. So that will be February. So this one is open to the 17 sub-counties of Nairobi. And so if you are in any one of those 17 sub-counties, you are eligible to participate. The SACCOs, the way Boda SACCOs are, is that they are domiciled within counties. So it becomes much easier. When you are dealing with Nairobi, it is not possible for someone in Kiambu to benefit from this. So you cannot vote for someone who is registered in a SACCO in Kiambu, because at the end of the day, we look at where you registered in a SACCO. Is that SACCO in Nairobi? For Boda riders in Nairobi. So it is open to the 17 sub-counties in Nairobi. And we're also looking at the possibility of the best runners-up, 16 of them, because it's only one out of the 17 that will get the 1 million shillings, getting 100,000 shillings in appreciation of what they have done. Now, what we shall do to ensure fairness is that we appreciate the fact that it's possible that much as the number of riders could be the same in each of the respective sub-counties, 17 of them, but it's possible some counties are disadvantaged in terms of the number of people that are likely to use bodas. For example, Westlands. You'll find the guy in Westlands might have less individuals willing to or keen on using bodas as compared to someone in Kawangware or Roysambu or any other place. So what we'll do, ultimately, the 17 of them will do name picking, so that we don't disadvantage someone who is a good and safe rider, and purely because they were best in their respective sub-county, but they did not get the votes as compared to others. Yes.
How do you guarantee the authenticity of this entire exercise? So what I'm asking, let me ask it in a different way. Have you partnered with, let's say, NTSA, or the county government, or the National Police Service, or maybe a national or regional Boda SACCOs association to get that third-party endorsement as well?
What we've done, of course, NTSA is a regulator. We have talked to them, the county government as well. And but remember, we are here because of things that have been done or not been done by some of these brothers and sisters in terms of trying to resolve this. In terms of the we even start with the voting aspect. We have a partner in an audit firm that will be able to weed out any possibility of you walking into a shopping center and telling people vote for me, unless you're a very patient person, because we look at how the votes are coming in. You cannot have a ride that lasts 3 minutes or 4 minutes. It is most likely that a ride will last way longer than that, and you cannot have a ride from the same guy. You cannot have the same passenger voting for you 10 times in a span of so many minutes of so many hours or so many days. So we will weed out some of those votes through the system. But in terms of informing the partners in regard to this, we've done that because we are basically helping them. In fact, we are doing what they are saying riders should do. Riders should wear a helmet. We are giving out money so that riders can wear a helmet. Riders should obey the law. That the police would be very interested in, including the DCI and the other places, because of crime, issues of crime. Even the DCI would want riders in Nasako, so that in the event there is a rogue one, they are the ones who will even be telling the DCI, this is ours, but he's not ours in terms of behavior. This is actually not ours. This whatever it is that the papers that they are using are not ours. So all this, we are together, working together to deliver this. They are aware. Of course, when money comes into play, many of them will shy away because of this or the other reason. But we are saying we are helping them do what they should be doing. We are helping make their work easier. And we are helping the country realize a good industry, make it better and more reasonable. We can imagine if we reduce even the number of... We are even working with NHIF because, again, health insurance is really key.
Yep.
Yeah? I don't want to give companies here credit on national TV, but they'll come and advertise when we get there, and then we can mention them. But basically, we are saying... there are a lot of health issues. Forget about even accidents. These guys don't do the right wear. They don't don the right wear. So they get all manner of illnesses, chest issues, breathing issues, So this is a big conversation that we need to have as a country, even partnership with media, because you guys know how to get to our people. You know how to communicate with them consistently up to the time they will understand. And then you even keep telling them, even after they have understood. Because if we don't have this conversation, does it make sense that air travel internationally is the safest? And a simple question should help us put this in perspective. Supposing we had five planes coming down in this country, even if they are light ones, in 1 year, 5 of them, just coming down. What do you think will happen in the aviation industry? It will be closed down permanently until this is resolved. It doesn't matter whether people have died in the accident, but as long as 5 planes have come down in the country, in 1 year, there will be a problem. We will not even count the number of people that have perished in those accidents. We had an accident yesterday, I think, a matatu, or the day before, where I think close to 10 people died.
10.
Yeah?
Yep.
But if a plane crashes and kills 2 people, is a big story. And the whole aviation industry is looking critically at what exactly happened. We'll get explanations as whether it's human error or it's weather, it is this, the other one. We need to get there with the issues of accidents. It's not just about border borders. It's about generally now looking at, do you know the biggest reason as to why we cause accidents is distraction, even as a very good driver. And you don't have to be taking alcohol. Just having some chips and your wife, your husband, and chicken, and then you slow down a little bit, and then the whole plate scatters. That instant, when you turn to confirm what happened to your fries,
that's it.
You crash. Yep. So that distraction is not about alcohol. Alcohol is big on matters of accident. But we're saying we need to have this conversation on matters of accidents. Let us put enough resources and energy as government, as private players, as media houses, as everyone, to this issue of and decide. We are not the most motorized country in the world. So why do we have these accidents?
So you do see a space then where government, private sector, everybody else can then come together in the regulation of this. I mean, we keep using the example. I think it's one that you still can point to because it seems to be working. Moving to the center of Africa, Rwanda has been able to regulate this sector. There's no incentive. Your incentive is to not go to jail.
Yeah.
All right? That's the incentive. That if you don't behave, you could have a state scholarship. All right?
Yeah.
The incentive is to be free and to do your business.
Yeah.
So there's no, thing, oh, please, can we come together and just behave? Probably no. It's the law. You do it or you don't. It's very simple.
Yeah.
But so what you're saying is that there is a space within which private sector, government, in terms of regulation of this sector, can actually get people to behave.
That is correct.
So the behavioral issue seems to supersede anything else. Yeah. Supersedes the law, supersedes.
It does.
So then how do we get people have waxed lyrical. You can't legislate on morality. You can't legislate on how to get people to behave the right way. So it looks like we're dealing with a deeper issue here of how to get people to just do the right thing.
In fact, if government comes in and talks about this, and you remember government told us to wear masks. All of us wore masks. And they were not following you to your house to confirm you're wearing a mask. They just told us this is the right way to do these things. They sent all manner of communication to the media houses and looped you guys in, and you helped. If we have hunger in this country and government tells you, talk about people are hungry, we need to contribute, we need to do this, we need to help people. I think the government must initiate this conversation. Much as we are the guys talking about it now, the government must now start deciding that accidents can be avoided. And everyone must do whatever needs to be done so that we deal with this issue of accident. And now that borders are the biggest contributors to the statistics we are talking about here. Can you imagine? We are talking about deaths. Do you know the number of people that have been maimed permanently that are in hospital at the moment right now? You go to an average casualty department ward and you'll be wondering, is there a place they are dropping motorbike riders and their passengers from, up there? The manner of injuries you interact with on a minute-to-minute basis is scaring. So the question is, why can't we decide? It's just a decision. Is a decision, and the government is going to be the biggest beneficiary. It is the hospitals, it's the government hospitals that are packed to capacity, and it's almost like the border riders industry now is a sin industry. It's just like we allow some of these products out there in the market, yet we know we have to overtax them because the benefits, or rather the yields that are associated with them overweigh the benefits. So should we get there with the riders, the border industry? No, it is possible to regulate this thing. We can benchmark with our neighbor, a very young neighbor, if you ask me, because Rwanda is not anywhere near Kenya. How come they're doing it? What is it that they're doing? And it's a question of telling people you must follow the law. Yeah, I am told that you cannot carry two passengers at a time. So why can't we do that? That's actually what the law says also in this country. But you'll find a policeman allowing 3 guys riding on a bike, to pass. And there's a kid in the middle somewhere, squeezed in there somewhere.
And none of them is wearing a helmet.
And we appreciate that people are not doing very well. So it's possible you want to cut on costs and all that. But the law is the law. The law is simply the law. So basically we are saying, let us have let's start this conversation. This is the best way to start it because we don't start it by fighting people. We started by telling people, this can be done. Wake up in the morning, go to work, do what needs to be done. Yeah. In fact, you're the first. It could be the first individuals in this country to be given money to do what is expected of you. Nothing extra. Don't register. Don't give us any money. Don't call this or the other number because again, people are out there who take advantage of people. No, we don't want anything from you. Yeah, all we want is for you to convince the person that you're ferrying from point A to point B that you are a good rider and you're a good human being that respects other road users and other Kenyans. It's that simple. So I think if this conversation is carried to the next level, you'll find there'll be change because human nature is such that people change. And if a majority of you are operating in a certain way, then you find everyone becomes ruly. Of course, there'll be 1 or 2, but those ones we can deal with. Like you said, we can get that accommodation in those manner of places. But the majority of those riders should behave better.
How exactly are you working with the SACCOs?
Yeah. In fact, ours is to tell people to join the SACCOs.
You tell them
so
to
they're
join
the
the
beneficiaries of what we are doing.
I'll tell you why I asked the question.
Yes.
Because the leadership that you and your organization have shown in this matter is exemplary. I'm saying it's exemplary because every time you tell the story of Rwanda, it boils down to leadership.
Yes.
And even as we tell the story of Rwanda, I am forced to come back to Kenya during Michuki's time as Minister for Transport.
Yes.
Again, it was leadership.
Yes.
He led by example. And you know what happened? People followed.
Yes, people do.
People actually said, we will walk.
Yes.
Yep.
Meaning, people are ready to do the right thing,
Yes.
but leadership is necessary.
Yes.
Now, since all our transportation sector have SACCOs, do you think that these SACCOs could help in what we're trying to promote to ensure that only law-abiding individuals or drivers or whoever their members are part and parcel of that SACCO?
Yes.
Because they already formed into those SACCOs.
Yes.
You can't ply certain routes or work within that sector if you don't belong to a SACCO.
That is correct.
So already we have them somewhere. Now, leaving the enforcement to the police, a bit of a tall order. But the people to whom they owe their membership and the people who allow them to do the business can hold a bigger stake and a bigger sway on them. My thoughts. What do you think?
That is so true. Let me tell you what. SACCOs can do it. In fact, they should do it. The only problem is, we, as a country, we have this thing of knee-jerk reactions. Where when things are not working well, we come up with all these brilliant ideas, and then when I don't know, I don't understand whether it's because nobody's feels like they're charged with the responsibility of ensuring things work. As long as things now start moving in the right direction, everyone drops the ball, and then we are back to factory settings. And I think that's where we go wrong. When we are doing this, incidentally, when you join a SACCO, that SACCO is not in an island. It is regulated, as it were. So there are terms. You are a SACCO, there are things that you're supposed to do as a SACCO, and government expects you to do those things. So government must rein in on SACCOs. It's that simple. We cannot have SACCOs having to behave well simply because on their own accord. They are beneficiaries of what is happening on the roads. For example, Matatu SACCOs, the owners are there, they're interested parties. So as long as this vehicle is carrying as many passengers as possible, then they are beneficiaries because the SACCO grows that way. If you allow them to do whatever it is that they want to do, they'll go back to where it all started and they'll be in trouble. As long as people have allowed themselves to join a SACCO, they become a legal entity. Then you can deal with that legal entity legally through the law in managing it. Now, what that does is that it removes from you dealing with the whole industry in generality, and you're picking on one and saying you are not behaving well. Not directly, but through your members. So if you don't rein in on your members and they behave in a certain... So the government cannot afford to fold its hands and just look at these things and say it is going to work. After all, they're in SACCOs. Those SACCOs are still run by human beings.
They are regulated.
And then you realize, even in the matatus, all those matatus behaving badly on the roads, they are in SACCOs.
They belong to SACCOs.
By the way, they are branded very nicely. This is SACCO A, SACCO B, SACCO this, SACCO the other one. But you will tell this guy does not care whether this information gets to my SACCO or not. So why can the government, before even an accident happens, tell the SACCOs, your drivers who are doing this. Your drivers are notorious for overlapping. They are the ones who are going through gas stations because gas stations are open this side, the other side. Why don't we have that conversation? Do we have to only deal with these things when people die?
Accidents have happened,
it
and then you suspend
sense.
an entire SACCO.
You go to Europe, you go to London, central London, you'll be there for 10 days without anybody hooting. Why? Because people are behaving well. If you are supposed to turn right, you indicate right, you turn right. So we are saying all of us have a responsibility, and especially the heaviest responsibility falls on government. So I think this conversation is about telling government as well that you need to wake up. And because government has a habit of pretending that it does not hear, we keep the conversation until they hear and listen. And they do. By the way, they do. If this goes big, they will listen. And unfortunately, government again has a habit of using rungus. We are telling them, these guys are in SACCOs. Don't wait until they start behaving badly as SACCOs. Work with them. Work together. Have a conversation. Let them understand where you're going, and we work together. It will work.
NTSA will tell you that they hold regular meetings with Boda riders.
Yes.
Former PS Kibicho will tell you he held very many meetings with Boda riders alongside NTSA on just sensitization of safety, of the reason why you need to take insurance, or why you need to be registered and all, but they still behave this way. As somebody who is a lawyer, as somebody who is a politician and all, looking at our current state of affairs, do you see the political leadership of the country actually addressing this issue?
So former PS Kibicho will tell you that, but he'll forget to tell you that his policemen are on the road. And those Boda guys were passing through there. So it's not like those meetings you're having with the CEOs of the Boda organizations, how does it translate into a discussion? You should tell them, when your Boda guys find us as the government on intersections and they don't behave, we will arrest them. That is the conversation you're supposed to have. And then they'll go tell their respective members in the SACCOs that now we have had a discussion, the government is not joking. Quote whoever PS you want to quote. The government has decided this is what is going to happen. But we are not waiting for the government to do that. As a SACCO, we are saying, if you are a member of this SACCO, can you stop at intersections when required to, until you are allowed to go? So that is what we are saying. It is not about even these meetings. You will hear government has a habit of coming up with big projects, trainings, and budgets, and billions of money that needs to be spent, looping this organization, the other one, and so it becomes just paperwork. It's not really real. And riders know that. So you can do your things, you can do those government things that you do, those meetings, you do those, and then bring the media with a lot of respect, then report this. But what about the real situation on the ground? Has it changed?
Are you touching the actual stuff? Now, I've done that. Star 519 star 72 hash.
Yes.
Star 519 star 72 hash. And I've gone through the prompts. It tells you, tell us the rider number, rider name, the motorbike's registration, and you search the constituency, and then you vote. And it's easy.
Very easy. Yeah,
Thank you very much, Charles, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Charles Munyui is the Executive Director of Boda Riders Awards. They're saying, let's vote for the best Boda riders as a way of encouraging better behavior on our roads. Keep it here for more. It's 8 a.m.
Good morning. This is Newswire. I'm Dennis Aseto. The government has asked teachers to be realistic in the new push to call for salary increment. Education CS Ezekiel Muchogu told the Kenyan National Union of Teachers to be considerate with the current economy while asking for the implementation of a CBA. The CS whose speech was read at the ongoing 62nd NAT National Delegates Conference in Kisumu, was responding to fresh demands by NAT, who were calling for a 60% pay rise. Muchogu, however, said they'll reach an agreement with the teachers and move on as a country. NAT Secretary General Collins Oyu had asked that they'll embark on demanding more pay from the government. And the National Treasury is seeking 70 billion shillings from new bond auctions as the Exchequer seeks to shore up financing from the domestic market. The first of the two new auctions features an extended tap sale of December switch bond auction, from which Treasury seeks 20 billion shillings after raising an initial 49.1 billion shillings from an 87.8 billion shillings target. The auction is expected to close on December 22nd or upon the attainment of the target of 20 billion shillings quanta. Yields on the extended IFB sale are expected to attract a coupon of 13.215%. Now, 7 people, among them 4 children under the age of 5, have died in Madogo, Tana River County following an outbreak of cholera. Another 20 people are currently undergoing treatment at the Madogo Health Facility. So far, 196 cases have been reported in the area, but the number is expected to surge according to the Ministry of Health, which Tuesday issued a health alert to local healthcare facilities in 11 different counties following increased cases of the killer disease in the areas. And the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission and National Health Insurance Fund have launched investigations against tens of hospitals accused of engaging in fraud. Also under investigation are individuals who collaborated with the hospitals to defraud the fund of millions of shillings through fictitious claims. This came as the Health Fund Board said that it had embarked on reforms to address graft issues that had haunted it for years. In the last couple of years, some private hospitals were in the limelight after it emerged that they had defrauded NHIF through fake medical claims. According to EACC chairperson Archbishop Eliud Bukala, universal healthcare is, as promised by the government, is very critical to the country. And a small boat loaded with migrants heading for British shores from France capsized in the freezing waters of the English Channel, resulting in 4 deaths. Lifeboats, helicopters and rescue team working with the French and British navies responded to the incident, which took place as immigration to Britain, organized by people trafficking criminals gangs, has become a priority issue for Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's government. An investigation is underway. And Ukrainian officials now say that a Russian attack on Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, with Iranian-made drones damaged 2 administrative buildings. Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko reported explosions in the Shevitsky district in central Kiev. It was not immediately clear if there were any casualties. Ukraine military said its air defense shot down 13 shaded drones, the same type Russia has used to crash into targets in widespread attacks on multiple Ukrainian cities. The European Union added sanctions against Iran this week for its role in developing and supplying drones that Russia is using in its war in Ukraine. And Uganda's national football team, the Cranes, has pulled out of the African Nations Championship tournament due to lack of funds. The tournament is due to be held in Algeria next month, but the Ugandan team will not be participating because of the government's failure to provide the promised funding. This is according to Moses Magogo, president of the Federation of Uganda Football Association. This is not the first time Uganda is pulling out of sporting engagements due to financial constraints. In October this year, the under-23 men's football team was withdrawn from the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers because of lack of money. In September 2021, Uganda's national basketball team risked being kicked out of the Afro-Basket Championships in Rwanda after initially failing to clear their hotel bill. Uganda's parliament has set up a committee to investigate the state-run National Council of Sports following allegations that officials asked for kickbacks to release budgeted funds to sports bodies in the country. I'm Dennis Asata. Good morning.
The SpiceFM Newswire is brought to you by the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4. Get to see the world through a new lens and capture the moments that truly matter.
.5 Spice FM, Kisumu.
North Airport Road has some traffic this morning. Looks a bit messy as you're getting out towards Outer Ring, but then it's going to smooth then going out towards the junction with Manyanja Road. We've got some traffic then connecting from there going on to Lunga Lunga and then further ahead towards Jogo Road. So that slows down some. Landis Road, my goodness, is an absolute mess. It's bumper to bumper. How do you say differently? I don't know. Toe to toe, shin to shin, neck to neck traffic. That's what's happening on Landis Road. It's inbound, it's outbound, it's madness. There's traffic on the Thika Superhighway now, but just past Surveys where you'll find most of it going out towards Pangani. And there's also some on Kiambu Road. On the other side of the city, looking out to Westlands, Ring Road Westlands has some traffic, as does James Gishur, but nothing to worry about there. Waiaki Way also a little bit as it's trickling into the city. The most of it is on Landis Road. SpiceFM KE on Twitter, talk to us about where you might find it or where you find a good route to use this morning, and let's keep things moving.
This is The Situation Room, the home of hard-hitting political commentary and penetrating insights about the state of the nation. This is a talk radio experience like no other. The Situation Room, a place for hard truths, debates, and elevated conversations. The Situation Room, witty, political, engaging, deep, controversial. In the room, we have C.T. Muga, researcher, academic, seasoned political observer, a fountain of wisdom in these politically uncertain times. Ndu Oko, Nigerian by birth, Kenyan by choice, communications expert, Pan-Africanist, a truth seeker and believer in people power, and Eric Latif, agent provocateur, the man in the chair, seasoned journalist, news hound, a man who believes in punching up, not down. This is The Situation Room, the
8
only
after
way
8
to
on the
start your
15th day
day.
of December 2002. It's what day of Christmas?
It's 2022.
222. That
Taking us
one.
20 years back, man.
Yeah, I meant 22.
Oh, so.
So you got the two there.
At least you got 1, 2.
We're halfway
That's for
there.
Sure. It's the 4th day of Christmas.
It's a
4th day
All
of
right,
Christmas. Go. On the 4th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
4 calling what?
Calling birds.
What are those?
They're calling birds.
What
Okay.
is called Baba? So you've heard of call centers?
Kuri Kuri.
Yes.
Yes.
It's the Kuri Kuri.
Yes.
It's the Kuri Kuri call.
And the French, what again? French birds.
Huh? French hens. Those are 3. Calling birds are 4.
4 calling birds. So 4 kuri. 3 chicken.
Chicken. Cuckoo.
Those hens are 4-1.
3.
3 French hens.
The 4 are the
2
kuri.
are the turtle doves.
4 kuri. 3 cuckoo. 2
Nini.
kobe.
And why did they get them from France? Why couldn't they get them from Italy?
You know. And then the first one is
Partridge
aluru.
in a pear tree. Aluru.
Yes.
Aluru in a pear tree.
Yeah.
Sawa.
Aluru kwa miti ya makadofia.
Okay.
4 hens.
Yeah, 4 birds, calling birds.
3
hens.
4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle
Do
doves.
explain this to me. There's an emblem I see. These teams that come from France, the rugby team, the football team. There's like a cockerel.
It's the national bird.
National bird.
It's the French hen.
So these are 3 national birds.
National bird is the French hen. As you like. Do you like it? I'll check it to you.
Hey. Do you still have your Samsung Galaxy Bud 2 Pro?
Is that a question?
Yeah?
I am not going anywhere without
You
them.
know, sometimes you do things.
Ajay?
Yeah?
And remember, there are sometimes you actually lend those things to some people.
I don't lend, they take, because
No,
they know
you lend.
the experience that I've been having, and then they get jealous. So they decide, let's take these things and experience them over, the next how many hours, and then they silently return them. You think I don't know you? I know you. The new Samsung Galaxy Buds 2 Pro, you'll get immersed in sound like never before, featuring intelligent 360 audio. It makes the sound more realistic. The Buds 2 Pro also feature enhanced head tracking. So if you move or bob your head about, the music in terms of quality of sound does not change. It makes every movement stay in sync so you get an immersive experience. The Buds 2 Pro also help you stay connected to the Galaxy ecosystem. With a simple tap, tack, you're connected. They're also designed to fit comfortably in your ears. Listening to your music, having your meeting, whatever it is that you do that you require sound, the Buds 2 Pro are a perfect sound companion.
C.T. Muga has a proverb from what country is that again?
Equatorial Guinea. Yes. Not only do I have the proverb.
He said the country, the capital is Malabo.
Malabo, your capital.
Sawa.
Okay.
And they have oil.
They actually have petroleum. It's one of the things that is said moved the country from being a third world banana republic.
You said the one that you put in your car and it does what?
It does vroom.
Okay.
That one.
That one.
Yes. So they moved into this thing that we keep being told is called a middle income country, blah, 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 blah. But they also have agriculture, they have coffee. Yes, they have coffee.
And they have the ocean. Blue economy.
Blue economy, eco in plenty.
Yes.
Eco blue economy.
And that's why they know a thing or two about sailing.
They do, because they're literally, their largest border, I would argue, is the ocean.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's the proverb?
And we know where fish live, don't we?
Good. In rivers.
Good wind is of no use to a sailor who does not know his direction. Eric, I see you smirking and laughing. I'm not talking about bowel movements.
What? Whose mind even went there?
Eric's mind did. I can see it. Even as I'm looking at him, I can see the direction. I know the direction of his mind. Yes.
Good wind
is useless to a sailor.
Is of no use to a sailor who does not know his direction.
Because he won't even know whether the wind is good or not, because he's not even sure where he's going.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it of any use to MCAs in the Meru County Assembly? Yesterday, MCAs in Meru decided to remove their governor from office in the name of impeachment.
After 112 days.
My friend. And it's 67 out of 69 MCAs.
That's
overwhelming majority.
And those 2 did not vote no. Those 2 were absent. So the record shows that everybody who was in the chamber yesterday voted to impeach Governor Kawera Mwangasa.
Is this not an appropriate time to ask what is it that really could galvanize all these MCAs to speak with one voice? What is it?
So, you take yourself back into, even when they were campaigning, was she not aligning herself with any of this? Is there no MCA who was aligned to her? So she's an independent. She was running as an independent. But before this, she was the woman rep for Meru County.
She was.
And before that, she had vied to be an MP for Buri. So she.
It's a place.
Oh, you guys have started again.
She's a politician.
She is a politician.
Not a novice.
No, she isn't new to this particular pond. No, she's not.
And so this has happened. So the wheels started churning sometime just soon after she got into office. MCA started complaining about her and how she's behaving, and then how she is tagging along her husband everywhere she goes, and how then she said, my husband is going to be an ambassador for the hustlers, and among other things that he did, he was appointed to. There were accusations about nepotism in appointments, about driver being
sister, something.
Yes.
The county secretary, all these,
there were
many things.
Complaints.
And the last time we spoke here, we spoke to the Okio Mtata of Meru.
Yes.
His name is Salasio Doranira. And he was telling us why he's the one who, as a voter, petitioned the County Assembly of Meru to commence impeachment proceedings against the governor. And we asked him, what are you doing?
What's the big thing?
What's the issue? And he came here and he enumerated a number of things. And he was even quoting, on this date, she was at such and such a place, and this is what she said. In fact, she posted it on her social media handles, and this is what she said. It's on record. And I've provided that to the County Assembly, and I've asked them, can you investigate? And if you find that there are grounds, can you begin impeachment proceedings? They found grounds. They began impeachment proceedings. She has been impeached by the County Assembly.
I think she understood the seriousness of this matter because in a time not too long ago, I think when the president was in that general geographical locality, she did appeal, unless I read my papers wrong, and says, there are these little issues that I really would like assistance in.
Yes.
I think she had understood the seriousness of it.
Yeah. I think it was in Nyandarua where the president was.
Yes.
If I'm not wrong. If not Nyandarua, then somewhere else in Kiwi.
It was in the area of the mountain, Chief.
It was in the mountain.
Yes, so let's
proceed.
Yes.
She said she'd like for all of us to pray for those MCAs.
They're not okay.
Yeah. And for the president to intervene in having a conversation with these people. Because Kope Pombaya may visit.
She did then get quite vocal when she said, look, and she was behind the podium when she said it a few days after these rumblings had begun. And it's probably then what speculation says that is what ruffled the nest a little bit more, because she said, look, I know what's going on here. You guys want me to pay, or you want me to release money for certain activities that, as far as I'm concerned, are not founded. If you give me the documentation as to why I should agree for some of these payments to be made, then no problem. I will release them. But now you're just making noise, rumblings here and there. I will not be coward. I will not be intimidated. She stood barefaced, to the lion and said, look, I'm not going to do it. If you feel as though you would have harassed somebody else to behave in a certain manner, I'm not that chick, not today. So it would appear as though she was standing up to these folks and said, look, I know what's going on behind the scenes. There's certain payments you guys want to be released. I am not the one who will be manhandled and you guys think you're going to get away with it. Many said that was what tipped the apple cart, in the sense that, look, she's basically telling you guys, Omo, it's a new sheriff in town. We're not going to allow things happen. Exactly. We're not going to allow things to run the way in which they had been running before. If you're saying that, even the people that you people are saying that I'm appointing, my sister, my husband, my father, my friend, even them, they'll have to account for whatever it is that they're doing. So that's all I'm asking you guys to do. Account for whatever it is. Tell me what it is about. Don't just say release money for such and such project. Which one? For what? How will it play out? So if you think you will, twist me into making a certain decision, especially when county funds are involved, sorry, wrong person, not today. That is probably now what they said. Hold on a minute. This one, we're going to have to teach her a lesson. And here is the lesson.
You know, it is said, it is in the realm of speculation, that when President Emilio Mwai Kibaki, the late, was in power, remember, now what I'm about to say is fact.
Okay, here we go.
He had taken over from President Daniel Arap Moi.
Fact.
So practice here came into force, and those who then visited State House during the tenure of one Emilio Mwai Kibaki believed that when you go to see the president leaves you with a handshake. Okay? President Moi had established a certain way of thanking people for visiting him. The African tradition of Amze, you never leave empty-handed when you go to visit Amze.
The chief.
You never leave empty-handed. By the same token, you don't go to visit the chief empty-handed either. It doesn't happen. Just an African tradition.
Yeah.
Okay? And again, the same rumor mills, I should stop listening to rumors, stated that Kibaki would tell you categorically, it's like this, huh? There's a place, it's called bank. Okay? If you really need money, that's the place you should go to.
They lend people money.
That's what they do, actually.
Yes.
And they can help you with this thing that you want.
This is your problem that you have. Can be sorted.
Yes. And even when people visited, you could eat, you would drink tea, and then you would go home. Okay? After that cold turkey, people adjusted and they realized, oh, it is so.
It's better to go to the bank.
It's better just to go to the bank. And now a new practice was put in force. Are we saying that the governor of Meru was trying to put something new in force? Are we saying that she was representing yes, a new thought process, a new step up and shine and clean future, where she is going to work by the rule of law? Me thinks not, and I'll tell you why I think not. If indeed people know that that's what you stand for, they'll respond and react towards you differently. If by your deeds they have seen that you actually live up to what you say, they will respond to you differently. But if they find similarity in what you do to theirs, they will then ask the question, but Nani so-and-so, what are you talking about?
Tunakujua bwana.
I mean, come on, what are you talking about? Even you the other day. See, the moment that conversation comes in, then it means that the very thing you're preaching is not what you practice. And that's what they're telling you. You are telling us to toe a certain line which you
are not towing.
Yes, you.
You are coming to tell us that we need to give you accounts, or we need to tell you exactly what we want to spend this money on. But here you are, barefaced, appointing your husband to do 1, 2, 3 in the county, giving a job to your sister, giving a driver job to your relative. How do you tell us something and behave in a certain manner different to what it is that you've told us? We are going to show you.
Yep. That often is the problem here.
You know, the man who started this whole conversation by applying to the county assembly to investigate and start impeachment proceedings against their governor is with us now on the line. Celesio Duranera, a.k.a. the... Celesio, zima redio yako tafadhali kidogo.
Imezimwa.
Aya, good morning, man.
Good morning, Eric.
Good to have you on the show, and I'm sure we're speaking to you when you're in Meru.
Yeah, I'm actually in my house. Yeah, I'm in Meru, Kobo. Yes.
You're the Omtata of Meru County, and you're the one who started by applying to petitioning the county assembly to investigate the governor.
Yeah.
Now it has come to pass.
Yes.
What grounds were used by the MCAs to impeach the governor?
Thank you so much, Eric, for that good question. Our constitution is very clear in Article 181. It has stipulated numerous grounds on which a governor can be impeached. And there are 2 grounds that I had picked in my petition that I urged the County Assembly of Meru to investigate and begin process of impeachment of our governor. And those grounds are gross misconduct and abuse of office. So I had provided some few instances where she had broken the law, where she has abused our office, and where she had gross misconduct. So I'm happy because the MCA saw the light through the minority chief whip, that is the Honorable DMK Kiogora of Bogeta West, and he went further to pick more evidence on the grounds that I had given them. And initially, the process of impeachment began. If Kenyans can remember, there was the first motion that was dated 21st November of 2022. However, a governor went to court through a great lawyer and a friend of mine, Wakili Elias Motuma, and the court quashed that motion. And then again, our MCAs obeyed the court orders. They went back to the drawing board and they drew another motion that was dated 6th December 2022. And it is the one that yesterday it was debated upon, and it was unanimously passed by 67 MCAs out of 69 MCAs.
But we ask this, and even the last time you were here, Ronera, we asked you, are these not issues that could be resolved between the governor and the MCAs, basically the leadership of Meru County?
There are issues that can easily be resolved and could have easily been resolved. But the character, the behavior of our governor, Honorable Faith Kawira Mwangaza, is that of an arrogant leader. It is that of a village drama queen. She is not ready to sit down with anyone, listen to anyone, get advice from anybody. You remember when I was there, I told you that our good senator, Honorable Kaduri Moronge, who is now the deputy speaker of our National Senate, he had tried to come and bring harmony, to resolve, to act as an arbitrator between the MCAs, and that is the legislature and the executive. When he came and met the leadership of the county assembly, it was a process. So he wanted to initiate and to bring in on board our governor. Then our governor said that she is not available. Later on, we saw her in the national televisions, media houses, claiming that Honorable Kaduri Moronge had come full loaded with a kibuyu of petrol to come and burn her instead of bringing peace. So she is a lady who is not ready to sit down with anyone, to negotiate with anyone, and have these issues resolved. Later on, we saw her saying 70 sorries in public, in media. That was a mockery. Later on, we saw her in Embu, and the question that came in our minds is that when our president was in Maua Stadium for an interdenominational prayer Thanksgiving Day, she never appeared. She said that meeting was supposed to drum beat for our good CS, Honorable Meveka, to get an appointment post for a CS. But 2 weeks ago, we saw her in Embu for the same kind of function. And we wondered, is Embu so much near and Maua is very far from Meru? So the way she is behaving, anyway, she is not ready to bring peace and have these issues resolved. So the only cure to her incompetency and behavior is impeachment.
Okay. Are we looking at an issue whereby she seems to have also stood her ground? And one of these many occasions when she came out in public, one of the things she did actually say is that it looks as though she was being arm-twisted by members of the county assembly to behave in a certain manner when it came to the disbursement of county funds, and that she was not going to do that. So now there's speculation that this is an answer to her answer. Is there any truth in that?
I think there's no truth in that. The only thing she is trying to do is victimize the MCAs and other leaders to look bad in the public eye, in the public court. She wants only to be taken to be the only angel, the others are devils. Remember, in our budget, we have timelines of the budget cycle. By this moment, she is supposed to have presented in the county assembly the CIDP, the ADP, the AWP. Those are documents in preparation for making a budget. And what the MCAs wanted to know is the allocation of equalization fund of the ward development project. They want to know what amount is each and every ward getting from the share of the budget that she is supposed to prepare. And she went in catarams trying to paint the MCAs that they are thieves, they are gratiners, and they want to twist her. And that was not the issue. Remember, every document she prepares about the budget must be approved by the county assembly. Up to now, Marians, through our MCAs, we don't know what is in our CIDP. We don't know what is in our annual development plan. We don't know what is in each and every department annual working plan. She has not even yet presented a supplementary budget to align the budget of 2022-2023 to our own campaign pledges that she gave to the Marians. So who is on the wrong? Who is on the right?
That's a very interesting perspective. You know, one of the tricky things is that we hear your perspective, we hear what you're saying, how we would have loved to hear what the governor has to say on this particular matter. But I guess if she goes before the Senate and these issues are brought up, she will have an opportunity to tell the Senate what her position is.
My good friend, I think the governor missed a great opportunity yesterday. And, you know, the process of impeachment legally is like any process in any court of law. When you go to the Senate, it's like an appeal court. And in this process, she was given an opportunity to come and defend herself before the county assembly concerning all the allegations that were placed before her. She failed to do that, and she snapped the assembly. Now, a big question comes in. If she is called by the Senate, one great question that will come up or will crop up is, Honorable Faith Kawira Mwangaza, were you given a fair hearing by the MCAs? Were you invited to defend yourself? The letters are there, yes, and she received the letters. Then what defense did you put before the assembly? Zero. What is she going to tell the senators? Are they going really to be convinced that our argument or the defense that she will be trying to put across is a fair one?
So let me ask you.
Yes.
Do you think impeaching the governor is good enough, or should there be a move to disband the county government of Meru?
Those are two good constitutional processes, and the two processes cannot go hand in hand. They cannot be carried out at the same time. By law, one process that begins first must be completed, and if it fails, then the other second process can begin. If our residents and our voters think that the whole county should be dissolved, well and good, me have no problem with that. But we need to streamline our leadership, because the people who are suffering are the voters. Up to now, we have not seen any development project being initiated. We have students and pupils at home who have not yet done their end of term examination because they lacked the bursaries, an essential right that they should have been given by our county by our county government, but they have lacked this essential service because of the arrogance and ignorance of our governor. Currently, on my side, impeachment is the immediate medicine to the cure of this problem. But remember, dissolving the whole county government, it's another tedious process. Correcting at least 10% of the registered signatures of the registered voters, it's not a simple task. Then again, you have to draft a petition to the president. The president himself must subject those signatures through the IEBC for verification, which is almost a period of 2 to 3 months. Those are 90 days. After that, he has to constitute a committee to look into the allegations raised in the petition. It's another tedious process that can take like almost 6 months. After that, that report of the committee must be taken to our Senate to be able to look into the issues and give a verdict of either the county to be dissolved or one leader to go or some few leaders to go, or all of us go again to the elections. If you remember the Kitui, not the Makueni issue, whereby they wanted the whole county government to be dissolved, the process took like 1.5 years. And initially the president never saw any sense of dissolving the county government, and the Senate gave a recommendation to have a reconciliation committee between the executive and the legislature. That's what happened. So it's a process that will take like 2 years, 1.5 to 2 years. Yet we shall be having no development projects to show us.
Right. Thuranira, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Eric.
And we'll be getting in touch with you for updates on what's happening in Meru.
I will appreciate.
Celestio Thuranira is known as the Omtata of Meru. He is the man who initially petitioned the County Assembly of Meru to investigate and commence impeachment proceedings against Governor Kawira Mwangaza. Yesterday, the County Assembly of Meru indeed impeached the governor. The next step, the Senate. We'll be talking more about this after this quick break. 25 minutes to 9. Kiwi, what do you need to do again?
You need to step up and shine. And if you walk into which two of you are supposed to be doing today?
Today.
Yes,
and
today.
I will send you a message around 1:30
I will even take a picture and send to you.
You will go to your supermarket. You will then buy a tin of kiwi. You can choose, but it's got to be black.
Okay.
Right? You will buy, and then you will step outside and you will open your lid. You will then see a code which you will send after you have dialed *459*5#. And then you will get either airtime, which you will then use to call me to tell me that you have done this particular thing, or you will get bundles. Immediate. It's instant. That also allows you to enter the draw where 35,000 shillings can be won that goes towards school fees in January. 36 different people will win until the 7th of February. Step up and shine with Kiwi. Gentlemen, step up and
shine. After the break, we'll hear from you 0719-012-600 on the issue of Meru County.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Yolanda Mulo, DJ Absolute. When the gang is together.
Got the sugar, got the spice. Yorada.
Yes.
I have missed you like hot hamburgers. Yeah?
Like hot hamburgers.
You know, bad boys give more money than you can count.
Hey, bad boys give more money than you can count. If it's fun, it's funky, it's fresh, you're definitely going to catch it here. I don't know what you do every day from 11 a.m. to 3 o'clock, but if I were you, I'd tune in to
Sugar and Spice only on 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
So if you say it's on, then it's on.
Yeah. The new Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 and Watch 5 Pro are here. This device available in select Samsung stores countrywide.
It's Christmas time, that wonderful time of the year, and Team Naivas is here to make sure all your Nyama Choma plans with friends and family go off without a hitch. We hope that you're as excited as we are to celebrate this Krisiki Kwetu with wonderful offers at all 90 Naivas branches across the country. All you have to do is visit a Naivas near you with your reward card, do some shopping, and you might win shopping vouchers. Ambuzi for your tasty Nyama Choma, a 65-inch TV courtesy of Coca-Cola, and get 200 bob instant cash back when you tap to pay for goods above 3,000 shillings with your Visa branded card. There's also plenty of offers for everyone at your local Naivas because with Team Naivas, Krisiki Kwetu, kila Mkenya ni mshindi. So what are you waiting for? Visit your local Naivas today. Naivas saves you money.
19, highs of 25 and lows of 16 today. It's sunny at 15 in Nakuru. It'll go to highs of 26 and we'll see highs of 24. In a sunny Nyeri, it's 18 and sunny in Eldoret, highs of 25 and lows of 11. And looking into a mostly sunny Mombasa, we'll see highs of 31. It's 21.9 and cloudy in Malindi. We'll see highs of 32. 21 and mostly sunny conditions in Kisumu at 28. That'll be today's high. And it'll go to highs of 28 in Kakamega as well. Mostly cloudy conditions at 21 in Kampala. And we'll see light rain for most parts of the morning in Dar es Salaam. 21 and sunny in Johannesburg, highs of 25 and lows of 15, and it's mostly clear at 25 in Lagos. We'll see highs of 32 and we'll see highs of 31 in a mostly sunny Kinshasa at 23.
Everything nice, everything nice.
Spice up your life.
All right, so we're still seeing heavy traffic on Jogger Road. Not too much coming out of Westlands. James Gishoro is, stepping up to the plate and delivering some traffic, but, nothing much as it gets towards Waiaki Way. Ring Road Westlands not looking too bad for now. It's going to slow down as you're trying to get onto Waiaki Way. We're seeing some traffic. It's dwindling on the Thika Superhighway. As you get just past Survey, you'll get towards the Pangani underpass and hold you up some, but it will be all right as you get towards Muthaiga Square. Kiambu Road is not doing too badly today. Well done. Juja Road, on the other hand, is creeping traffic into the city. It still continues. We're in traffic hour. It's nothing too earth shaking. Hopefully we can keep it just so. SpiceFM KE on Twitter.
Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right.
20 minutes to 9.
94.4 Spice.
Now 0719 012 That's 0719 012 600. Julia says her 92-year-old mom wants to know, why is it that the MCAs of Meru County are overturning the people's choice?
Good question. Good question.
Why are the people in the County Assembly of Meru overturning the will of the people who voted for the governor? Now, this is a constitutional provision. When you voted for governor, you most likely also voted for an MCA.
Precisely.
And the job of the MCA is to oversight that governor.
Yep.
And in oversighting the governor, if the governor does not do what the law requires them to do, then they can initiate constitutionally provided impeachment proceedings. And that's what they were doing in the county assembly yesterday, saying she has grossly violated the constitution and the oath of office that she took and she was supposed to uphold, right? This is what they have done. However, if you look at all this and the drama and the back and forth, and what we've been told by Thuranira, the county governments right now across the country are actually working on development of the County Integrated Development Plans, CIDPs, upon which the annual development plans, which then form the annual budget for policy, are developed. The county annual work plans for the many departments also need to be taken to the county assembly for discussion and debate and approval. These things are not happening in the county assembly. And there is a clear distance between the county assembly and the county executive. So the people of Meru, including 92-year-old Julia's mum, are not getting the service.
No, they're not. Delegated responsibility works that way. You know, what I see in all these processes is something that is actually very desirable in my mind. That is that the citizenry keeps being informed of several things. One, the rights that they have, the constitutional power that is actually given to them as citizens, an understanding of how this law or these laws or the complexities of the laws within our constitution, how they actually work. Because we are imputing, we are perhaps suggesting there's something nefarious going on. Unfortunately, leadership doesn't seem to understand the concept of accountability. Now, this is the thrust of this complaint, accountability. We're asking for this, we don't get. We call a meeting, you don't come. This thing is supposed to be a work that all of us do together. Okay? Now, by the same token, if you look at the work that an MCA is supposed to do, the citizenry is being told, if you don't want your MCA, a similar process exists. which you can use to remove this very MCA if you do not want them. And you can remove anybody up to the president if you do not want them. But the processes exist. All that we're seeing is situations where governors seem to be at the thrust of these matters. And yet, there is no elected leader in this country who cannot be removed if the people so desire. And if indeed there are reasons why they should be removed. And those reasons are also given within our constitution. You're told.
Yep.
So, in response to the question this lady has asked, my response is, we are seeing a process that should open the eyes of the leader and understand the need for them to be accountable to the people who elect them.
It's demanding accountability.
Yes.
I have somebody on the line as we pick the call, 0719-012-600. The people of Meru are not getting the services that they voted their leaders to deliver. So what should happen? Rita in Nairobi, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Okay, I want to comment about Kawira Mwangaza.
Yes, go ahead, please.
What I'm saying is that MCA should leave Kawira Mwangaza alone to work for the people who voted for her.
But they were also voted for by the same people.
Yeah, I feel sad. Why are they doing that to her, to Kawira? Wachana na Kawira afanye kazi.
Okay.
Mi kwangu naona kama ni wivu tu ya MCAs and Kawira na bwanake. Yeah, wanafaa wachane na Kawira tufanyie kazi because wakipigia Kawira kura walikuwa wanajua characters za Kawira before, not now. She's still the same. Kawira ni yule bado.
Okay. If they went back to the ballot, all of them.
Wachana na Kawira atufanyie kazi.
Sawa. Thank you, Rita.
Yeah. Okay.
0719-012-600. Let's just phrase the question then. Should this county be dissolved?
Yeah.
Both the assembly and the governor, everybody go home.
Let's start again.
And let's ask the people. Who do you cast your lots with?
Yeah, because if that question is asked, then we are also asking the question, do you think that the MCAs and the action are representatives of the sentiments and the feelings
of the people?
It's worth an ask because even before folks got up to bat, there was a problem. No sooner had the swearing in happened that we started to hear,
we heard it from the get-go.
Isn't it?
Yes.
From the very beginning, there was an issue from both sides. So, okay.
Do the people of Meru agree with their MCAs that the governor needs to go home? Thomas in Kericho.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Please switch off your radio or TV.
Oh, let me switch. Turn the volume low.
Tafadhali. And I see in the room you're also on hold. I'll pick you up next. Please switch off your radio. Thomas?
Yes.
All right. What do you think? Should the people of Meru be asked who they stand with?
What I'm seeing, as much as Kawira Mwangaza brought up the Gitaman to the view, they were saying the Gitaman is a problem. But Kawira Mwangaza.
Thomas,
Hello?
you did not switch off your TV. That's why. Ndurumo?
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
What do you think of the issue that's happening in Meru?
I support what Kawira is doing. The MCAs have no grounds for impeaching the governor. One, the ADP for the one they are talking about, for this year was done last year. So if there is any development that's supposed to take place was done last year by the last governor. The second item is the CIDP. The CIDP is supposed to be done up to May of next year.
So there's still time.
There's still a lot of time. And the CID is a consultative process, not done by the governor himself. It is done by the director, economics, and then it goes to the people, and then it goes to the assembly. The MCAs are jumping the gun.
Okay.
They should be able to wait.
So the governor is right.
The governor is very right.
All right. Durumo, thank you.
Yeah, in fact, what I would say, the MCAs are very new, they do not even know the processes. Let them wait.
All right. Thank you very much. Dennis in Embu, good morning. Hello, Dennis. Kilonzo in Machakos, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome, Kilonzo. What do you think of what's happening in Meru?
I've just been following this issue of Kawira Mwangaza.
Yeah.
I'm wondering whether the MCAs have considered whether she has breached that threshold of being against the Constitution to an extent of impeachment. Secondly, if she plays her game well at the Senate, I believe she'll make it through. Finally, the people of Meru should understand that the more they struggle, the more they lose. Because if this incident goes on for, let's say, 3-4 months, and there is no budget, there is nothing, the people will lack services from the county government. I think only a consensus would have solved this issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kilonzo. Martin in Nairobi.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, City and Udu. Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Yes, my view is that the governor seems to have or seems to lack people's skills. And I think she's mismanaging this entire tussle.
What do you mean by people's skills, Martin? She was voted for by very many people.
The people are meaning the MCAs.
Okay.
And we have a constitution that has given the MCAs quite a lot of power.
All right.
And there's nothing that we can change about it now. She doesn't seem to have come to terms with that situation. She believes that she's, at the top, and she can do whatever it is that she wants, but she needs the MCAs to actually operate. And she just needs to tone down her rhetoric and, with humility, come down and find a way of working with the MCAs, because she can't run the county without the members of county assembly. Unlike the president, in the National Assembly, the president has some other tools that he can use to try and twist parliament. But I think at the county assembly or the counties, the governor's powers are limited, and they are limited to the extent of the budget that she controls. And I believe MCAs have a lot of interest in all that.
So what should she do?
I think she just needs to step down. She stands on a very high horse, and she sort of believes that the MCAs can take her anywhere. And at the end of the day, well, they might not be able to do it immediately, but it affects her, service delivery to the people.
Okay.
So I think she just needs to be humble and come down and sit down with the MCAs and try to see, what needs to be done to sort out this issue.
Thank you, Martin.
Thank you.
Be humble. Get down. Sit down. Siane in Kericho. Good
That is
morning.
Eric, eh?
Yes.
I'm speaking to Eric.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Yep.
What happened in Meru, eh?
Uh-huh.
I was so proud when Kawira was elected, eh?
Uh-huh.
But she started so badly. Entering that office, being elected as a governor, she knew she was going to work with the elected MCAs also.
Yep.
So she could not be alone on her own. I am really saddened by what is happening in Meru.
What would you advise her to do today?
I think let her calm down. Let Kawira calm down. She cannot do it alone. It is not all lost. I think she should reach out to the MCS.
Okay.
They are all elected people because the people of Meru are suffering. They need to be given services. The cost of living is so high. So I think the best thing is for her to come and maybe get somebody to negotiate so that the people of Meru can enjoy the services.
Thank you.
I think she has the goodwill of the people. Okay, thank you.
Asante sana. Let's hear from Catherine in Nakuru. Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you. This Kawera issue reminds me about Kivuda Kibwana's issue. Where the MCAs were against Kivuda Kibwana, a very good governor. We realized later that he stood ground and he was very good. There's an issue with MCAs holding governors hostage because of money they want. And nobody is able to speak about it. All the governors, including the leader of the governors,
Waiguru.
They can't talk about it because they are in the same cohort with their MCAs. Now, coming to talk to Kawera to tell them, okay, divert these funds, call it another name, and give MCAs so that they can stop the atrocities against you. They can't. Nobody can do that. Kawera told them, pass these funds through the parliament, through the assembly, so that you can be given. That was the bone of contention, because how do you say the governor has abused office just some 50 days after just being in office? There is more than meets the eye.
Okay.
And nobody, we have legalized corruption so much such that we want Kawera to come down, give MCAs the money they want so that they can keep quiet. That is what is happening in all the county governments. I think there needs to be a law that protects governors from being held hostage. I support Kawera. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Catherine. Zach in Nairobi.
Hello, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good morning.
The issue of Kawera, I'm also in support of Kawera. Because, one, the MPs cannot purport to impeach the governor, yet it is the people that voted for this governor. So the governor should be allowed to do her job. And furthermore, this also should be a lesson to the electorate. Because I know Kawera, people knew her character before they voted her in. Now that they voted, I normally say, you cannot plant beans and expect maize. But since you've harvested the maize, you just have to feed on what you've harvested.
Yep.
You planted beans, you've harvested beans. So don't now try to fight. Yeah, eat your beans, yes. So let the people of Meru learn, let Kawera be allowed to manage the county the way she wants it to be a lesson to the people of Meru and na wale wengine wako na tabia kama hizo.
Thank you, Zach.
You're welcome.
Good day. Many are saying they support Kawera.
Yep.
Some are also saying, say Kawera, then find a way of working with your county assembly. You really cannot govern alone.
But the overriding thing seems to be that they don't want this lady going
The
anywhere.
government is two institutions. One executive, the other assembly. Those two make the county government of Meru County.
You know, when you point fingers at the MCAs, you are in effect saying that the MCAs in Meru are unique. They are different from the other MCAs in the country. And by the same token, you're saying that their governor is also unique. Why is it that we haven't had this problem in the... There are 47 counties in this country. Why this one county? Why? Same question could have been asked of Makueni. Why? What is it that other governors seem to understand and know, or what is it about these MCAs? Some of these things boil down to how it is you want to manage your affairs. Because we saw what Kivuta Kibwana did. He says, okay, fine, dissolve this whole thing. Let's go back to the people and let them decide. That was his way of handling it. You see, there are 69 MCAs. Is that not so?
That's true.
Yes.
And 67. Now, you're telling me that
all of them,
there wasn't one who said, folks,
let's use reason.
Come on, for heaven's sake. Let's give the governor a breather. Why? Is it not odd? Because in these cases, there's usually a mixed reaction. If we look at Kirinyaga, not everybody agreed. Anywhere where you've had this problem, there are always people who say, no, folks, let's take a step back and look at this thing. Unanimous. That in itself speaks volumes.
It does.
So what is it? And you know the people who can tell us this thing in great clarity are the people from Meru.
The people of Meru.
Yep.
Who voted also overwhelmingly for Kawira Mwangaza.
Yes.
The votes that she got versus the vote that number 2, Mede Kalinturi got. Number 3, the former governor.
It's significant.
The crocodile. Hey. Significant. Yeah. Oh, was it crocodile or hippo?
I am not
some
certain.
wild animal. It's all right.
Some animal that lives in the water.
Yeah. Yes, a mammal that lives in the water. Or is it a reptile that lives in the water?
Well, keep it here for more conversations coming up in the next hour. We are still live on Spice FM. We're taking a break on KTN News until tomorrow. But Spice FM, we continue. Also online on YouTube and Facebook. In the next hour, we'll also tell you about Naivas and how you can get all your Christmas goodies. Krisiki Kwetu with Naivas. 9 a.m. Good morning.
Spice up your life.
Good morning, this is Newswire. I'm Dennis Aseto. President Joe Biden has met with African leaders where the American leader has agreed to work with African governments and ensure that businesses come to Africa. President Ruto also was in that meeting where they agreed that they would work together and ensure that businesses, people both from Africa and Kenya in specific, get to benefit from both countries. At the first such gathering since Barack Obama invited African leaders in 2014, Biden said the United States sought partnerships not to create political obligation to foster dependence, but to spur shared success and opportunity. The Biden administration is laying out more than $55 billion in support over the 3-day summit, welcomed U.S. and African businesses, which promised more than $15 billion in trade deals. And the High Court will be handling a case in which Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja was summoned over the Green Park Terminus directive. Sakaja is required in court to explain why he disobeyed a court order stopping the move to relocate matatus to the Green Park Terminus. Justice Hedwig Ongudi stopped the implementation of the directive, but the county still went ahead and implemented it. At the same time, it's freedom for the Kitui mentally challenged man who was convicted of raping an 87-year-old granny. The High Court has released him because of his condition. And celebrated music producer Clement Rapudo Sijeni Elias Clemo is among the 33 county chief office nominees picked by Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja, according to a notice published in the local dailies. Clemo has been nominated to the City Culture, Arts and Tourism docket. With a career spanning decades in the entertainment industry, Clemo is a big-time producer in the Genge music and is the co-founder of Caliph Records. The 42-year-old has worked with notable names in the Kenyan music scene such as Jua Kali and Nonini. He is set to appear before Culture and Community Service Committee on December 22nd for voting. Former Mombasa County Chief Officer for Tourism Asha Abdi has also been nominated to the finance docket. And the National Environmental Management Authority has issued a cease and desist order to unscrupulous land developers who have been dumping materials from construction sites along the banks of Nairobi Dam. The developers dump truckloads of soil, other construction waste along the banks of the dam and put up semi-permanent structures for rent on top at risk of flooding when it rains. Rivangong has suffered the same fate, with the developers illegally dumping soil on rivers, narrowing it and altering its course. And 8 people have recorded statements over the mysterious death of a 59-year-old man who was found murdered and his body dumped in a rice farm in Mwea, Kirinyaga County. According to Mwea West Sub-County Police Commander Wilson Koskei, Isaac Karombo was last seen at Kadongu Shopping Center on November 30th after painting a a local bar only for his body to be found on December 2nd. Koskei said the bar owner was arrested Tuesday night and released Wednesday morning after being interrogated by detectives. Detectives suspect the man was killed the day he was found in the Rice Water Canal in Kiwi because the body was still fresh. Narco-based detectives have apprehended 5 suspects masquerading as Kenya Revenue Authority officials as they terrorized businessmen dealing in the liquor business. Police said the suspects, who include a senior police officer currently on interdiction and who is facing 5 cases bordering on impersonation in various courts, were arrested after bar owners became suspicious of the activities in the town before alerting them. According to police, the suspects were apprehended after bar owners got suspicious of the activities. And Kenyan rally driver Maxine Wahome has been released on 100,000 shillings cash bail pending investigations into an incident where she is accused of assaulting a boyfriend. Milimani Senior Principal Magistrate Bernard Ochoy directed that Wahome reports to the case investigating officer Stephen Kibei at the Kilimani police station weekly. Wahome was arrested on December 12th at an apartment in Kilimani after allegedly assaulting and inflicting serious injuries on her boyfriend Asad Khan. Assad's brother Adila Khan reported the matter to the police after being informed of the incident by the management of the apartment. This is Newswire. I'm Dennis Asata. Good morning.
.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
Okay, so we're looking at traffic in different parts of the city this morning already. We had seen it had started to build up coming off of Jogo Road going towards Landis. Still continues to be a thing, at least for now. Mombasa Road wasn't looking too bad. The Thika Superhighway traffic is just now at that entrance towards the Pangani underpass. It's going to join with the traffic that's coming off towards Muthaiga Square. All right, we're looking at a little bit of it as well, coming into the deeper Muthaiga and then coming off towards the northern bypass. Coming in from Westlands, not too much of an issue. Ring Road Westlands, James Gishero flowing very, very well. Most of it is in the CBD. We'll keep looking about half hour and see what traffic hour looks like then. SpiceFM KE on Twitter, talk to us there to keep things moving this morning.
This is The Situation Room, the home of hard-hitting political commentary and penetrating insights about the state of the nation. This is a talk radio experience like no other. The Situation Room, a place for hard truths, debates, and elevated conversations. The Situation Room, witty, political, engaging, deep, controversial. In the room, we have C.T. Muga, researcher, academic, seasoned political observer, a fountain of wisdom in these politically uncertain times. Ndu Oko, Nigerian by birth, Kenyan by choice, communications expert, Pan-Africanist, a truth seeker and believer in people power, and Eric Latif, agent provocateur, the man in the chair, seasoned journalist, news hound, a man who believes in punching up, not down. This is The Situation Room.
7 minutes after 9. Good morning and welcome to the final hour of The Situation Room today. It's 15th day of December 2022 and the 4th day of Christmas, according to Ndu. Today we've gotten those 4, what have we gotten? 4 singing things.
Calling birds.
Calling birds.
Yes, please.
Okay, 4 calling birds. All right. City, before we welcome our guests, and then before I also tell you about how we can get Mbuzi, big Hisense TV and daily rewards from Naivas.
Yes.
Give us the day's proverb for that.
I will. And I will not stop saying what I said earlier.
Say it again.
Just repeat it. I am reading the proverb from my Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra.
With S Pen.
The S Pen, my friend, is the companion of this particular gadget. Kabisa. Just like the Tab itself is an
your
companion. It also has a companion.
It has a companion?
Yes, it has.
Higher.
All right. Good wind is of no use to a sailor who does not know his direction.
Good wind is of no use to a sailor who does not know
his direction.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the vessel we refer to is a vessel that has a sail. Otherwise, the discussion of the wind is also of no
use.
Yes.
To the sailor. Okay. Sawa. Let me tell you about Naivas, because I promised to tell you about Naivas. This festive season, Team Naivas wants you to know that the Nyama Choma is on them, thanks to the Krisiki Kwetu offers available at all Naivas branches countrywide. And we were told the other day that how many Naivas branches are there countrywide? 90. No, today is the day for the 91st.
91st, yes.
91 stores countrywide. Visit Naivas near you with your reward card and enjoy 13 weeks of crazy offers. Instant, he's testing. Instant cashback at the till in form of gift vouchers. 350 gift vouchers winners every day at Naivas outlets nationwide. A chance to win a 65-inch Hisense LED TV 4K ultra high definition television. 65-inch Hisense LED TV 4K ultra high definition TV every week. More than 1,000 goats. More than 12 days of 12 days of a truly Kenyan Christmas. 1,000 goats.
Boom.
Like that. To get more details, tune in to Kwacha this afternoon from 3 p.m. on Spice Drive. He'll tell you how. He'll give you leakage and basically how you can win this. Yeah. So we have our guest in the studio. We are talking about the fourth industrial revolution and whether it's actually happening in Kenya or it's happening only in those other parts of the world. Mesopotamia. And along the Yellow River. Vincent Kirioba is the director of Blockchain Analytica Consultants. He's here with us in the studio. And joining us via video link is Gilbert Mogambi Osoro, who is a patron of the fourth industrial revolution, Kenya. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Morning to you.
Gilbert, good morning and good to have you joining us on link. I can see you somewhere where you are okay, you're fine, you're safe.
Thank you. God has been good to me. Morning, Ndu and the Cliff.
Good morning.
We are not CT. Oh, CT ni Charles.
That is my first name. It's Charles, yes.
Should have known your full name, Charles.
Lakini usiambie mtu.
I won't tell anyone.
Sasa, you mentioned it on national radio and everybody has heard. Sasa siri kwa.
Has heard what?
Vincent is right. Vincent, did you hear anything?
No, I didn't.
You see? The secret is safe.
Why are you announcing Gilbert's infirmity on national radio? People didn't know he had a hearing impediment. Now they know.
Gilbert Mogambi Osoro, you are the patron of the fourth industrial revolution, Kenya. What is that?
First, let me take this opportunity to thank SpiceFM and the Standard Group for giving us this opportunity to come and share with Kenyans what is the fourth industrial revolution. As you are aware, currently, we are at the dawn of the fifth industrial revolution, but allow me to take a walk down memory lane to jog Kenyans' memory. Industrial revolution is the process of change from the agrarian economy to one that is dominated by industry and machine manufacturing. These technological changes introduced a novel way of working and living, fundamentally transforming society. This process traces its origin to Britain in the 18th century and spread to the other parts of the world. For the purposes of our viewers who are new to the term industrial revolution, the first industrial revolution, also referred to 1.0, started in 1765, and the key activities during that period were water, and the product was the steam engine. The second industrial revolution came on a decade later in 1870, and the key activities then were electricity, mass production, and assembly line. And the products were electricity, gas, and oil. The third revolution also, which is also referred to as Industry 3.0, came in 1960, when we had the key activities being electronics, that is IT, computer automation, and the products were telecommunication, electronics, and computer. Allow me to share on the fourth industrial revolution, which is nearly coming to an end. It is the current and developing environment, disruptive technologies. The key activities of the fourth industrial revolution is the Internet of Things, popularly referred to as IoT, robotics, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, that are changing the way we live and work. And the products include nanotechnology, autonomous vehicles, robots, and drones. Now, the fourth industrial revolution is disrupting the way things are currently done in the world. It is a fusion of advances in artificial intelligence, robotics, you might have heard of 3D printing, quantum computing, and other technologies. Thank you, Eric.
Asante sana for explaining all that to us. I mean, and what then? So, when you say you're the patron of the fourth industrial revolution in Kenya, what does that mean? Are you like the one who's in charge of all these disruptive technologies in the country?
Artificial intelligence,
Yes.
drones, robotics. So,
no, we have an advocacy. We have an advocacy group. And when I say advocacy, this is a group that brings together people that are interested in new and emerging technologies that I've mentioned. We realize that unless we change, this country will forever remain shortchanged. Unless we adapt technology, then the dream of being a middle-income economy by the year 2030 will be a mirage. And I'm happy His Excellency the President, during his speech in the just concluded Jamhuri Day, of which the underlying theme was create, innovate, and inspire, has noted the importance of technology being a factor of production. Perhaps I'll invite Vincent to add something on what I've said.
So let's now welcome Vincent to the show. Vincent, karibu sana.
Thank you, SpiceFM.
And everything else that we've heard before. We'll continue from that point. You are the director of Blockchain Analytica Consultants.
Yes, sir.
Now, Blockchain Analytica Consultants just brings in the word Cambridge.
Not really, Eric.
Yeah.
Good morning, listeners. First of all, I want to give praise to the Most High God because He's the source of all wisdom, and without Him, nothing can ever happen. I'm also privileged to be a Kenyan because it's among the few nations in the world whose national anthem is a prayer. O God of all creation, bless this, our land and nation. Now, to continue on what my brother Gilbert had already shared, the fourth industrial revolution continues. It's a paradigm shift. And like the proverb which our brother here, Siti Muga, put, he said that the good winds is of no use to a sailor who has no destination or direction. As long as you are aware that there's a paradigm shift, you need to align yourself to where is it headed to and where do I fit in? Are my skills relevant or am I going to be obsolete? There was a meeting which was held in Davos, Switzerland under the banner of World Economic Forum. And in that meeting, they released a job landscape from 2020 to 2030. And they identified the top 5 emerging careers and the top 5 declining careers. Are you interested to know the top 5 emerging careers? Data science, data analysts, artificial intelligence, robotic process automation, big data specialists. Now, in the same breath, let me also highlight the 5 declining careers. Postal clerks, factory workers, assembly line operators, accountants, and the list goes on.
Accountants are declining.
according to the report.
All right.
And if I will also just share something else. They say, the report released say that as a result of the fourth industrial revolution or the paradigm shift, we'll have 133 million new jobs between now and 2030. But we'll have 75 million jobs shrinking, being lost. So the net effect is that we'll have close to 58 million jobs being added. One of the perennial problems in this country is that it's not that we're not educated. No, we have graduates everywhere. If you talk to any investor who wants to come and invest in the country, he said we have a remarkable human resource. But the skills do not match the job requirements. In other words, there's a skills mismatch. Which brings me to this point. Are we aligning ourselves to this fourth industrial revolution and the change? Like my brother Gilbert said, it's either we change or be forever shortchanged. And just to echo what he said about the 59th Jamhuri Day celebrations, if you were to read His Excellency's speech, from paragraph 43 all the way to paragraph 63, I'll share it with you if you want, it touches on innovation, it touches on content, it touches on the industrial revolution. Simply put, the government is willing to support this paradigm shift.
By word or by deed?
I will say by deed. And let me also qualify my statement. He introduced 3 top people as guests. There was the official from Visa, there was the official from Metaverse, and there was, I think, the vice president from YouTube. Those are global organizations. Those are the people who are spearheading the industrial revolution. That's the tech world. For them to have found time to be in Kenya, out of all those invites, that's a statement by itself. Kenya has taken off. Watch this space. +254.
So when you say that, this industrial revolution is ongoing, right? And all the things we're talking about, the disruptive technologies, those top 5 emerging careers are data. It's going on big data. It's going on technology. Do we have policies? Do we have government initiatives that are actually pushing us towards that, towards talking about having more people who understand data and analytics, having more people who are consuming big data, having capacity to actually have data servers in this country?
I'll take that, and then I'll let my brother also add on it, because there is a bill which he has drafted, and it will be submitted to the parliament. With regards to the statement whether the populace has aligned itself to this fourth industrial revolution, the answer is yes, because when you go to YouTube, when you go to various platforms, recently we had a Hacker Python or a Pythonista forum in USIU. A group of young people came and they hosted a data science forum. The other day, Strathmore had an occasion touching on data science. We are having data science being incorporated in various faculty of the tertiary institutions, that is universities and colleges. In line with that too, in the social media platforms, there are various IT or innovation groups. If you're not a member of one, we'll more than gladly invite you to join one. What's my point? The populace is aware there is a change, there is a wave. And they have embraced it. The only thing is they want to take it forward.
How do we see this? I'm really curious as to what is this wave? How are we seeing? Because usually where there's a wave of something, let's just take the minimal water. Somebody's bound to get wet. Somebody's bound to get into the water. What are now the manifestations of this wave that we can see, and in what sectors?
Okay. Gilbert, you want to take it? He's on mute.
Thank you, Ndu. As a testament that indeed the fourth industrial revolution is live, I want to take you to Google. This morning, when I checked the number of data analyst jobs in the US, there were 397,000 jobs that are available, of which 21,000 were new jobs that were posted today. I'll come back home. If you look at the Kenyan market, this morning, there were 605 data analysis jobs, of which 32 were posted this morning. Now, if you look at other jobs like artificial intelligence, which is the next big thing, you're looking at a blockchain technology. I know a number of Kenyans are familiar with the Bitcoin, but they don't know the underlying technology on which Bitcoin rides. In the next 2 years, the blockchain will have grown by 600,000 times worldwide. If you are a student of the world economy, you might have noted that in developed jurisdictions, they've adopted cryptocurrency as one of a means for saving. In fact, people are moving away from buying gold into investing in cryptocurrency. And my hope and prayer that in the near future, we'll have a cryptocurrency policy in this country, because we've had Kenyans who trade on the online platform. Some have lost money, some have invested well, but we need to have a regulated framework. In a nutshell, these new and emerging technologies are disrupting the way jobs are done in this country. And I want to take you back that there's a time advertised to recruit software engineers in excess of, I think, 400, and they could not be able to get even half of those software engineers in the country. I read an article that was done 2 weeks ago in one of the leading newspapers, which indicated that there is a scramble for software engineers after multinationals, Google, IBM, and others said, indeed, you might not see it coming in for, but if you do your detailed investigation, you will note that the job landscape is changing drastically. Thank you.
You know, I'm often confused. Who are software engineers and who are hardware engineers? I mean, what's the difference? What do they actually do? I mean, what does a software, how do I need to look for? So when I look at somebody, I know this one is a software engineer and this one is a hardware engineer. What is it?
Okay, let me check that, Gilbert, if you allow me to.
Go ahead. Proceed.
Okay, software is the interface between the user and the computer or the system. So anything that enables you to generate the desired outcome out of that system or out of that machine is called software. It may be a program, it may be an API, but basically all of them, the underlying or the driving force is the code, the coding.
So an app is a software?
Yes.
Why didn't you say so?
It's a case of semantics, Wanamuga, but I believe you're home. Thank you.
So a software engineer knows code?
Yes.
Okay. And a hardware engineer knows that.
Now, the hardware is the peripherals. What is composed, the ICs, the gadgets, and all that stuff. And so that I do not forget on this point, Sister Ndu mentioned the point of what is the water, how is this wave catching? Coding has been introduced and it should be part of curriculum in the Kenyan schools. As we are speaking right now, the children who are on holidays, most of them are attending coding camps. In addition to that, Codris Africa also partnered with the Safaricom, and they're offering some training using the Safaricom platform. What's my take? Our children are learning coding. Coding is the basic language for you to understand how software or how computers operate. And just like in the 18th century, labor was the leverage. In 19th century, it was a combination of labor and capital. But right now, in this current dispensation, the new leverage is coding.
Okay.
And let let me also add this. You are not too old to learn coding. You are never too young to learn coding. In one of our webinars, which we hosted as the Fourth Industrial Revolution Group or Advocacy Group, there was a young man called R.N. Tejas from India. He's just 12 years old, but he has certifications from Stanford University, from University of Michigan, and so forth. How did you get to meet this young man? Through Twitter. And after exchanging a few tweets, we told him we needed him to inspire the program which we're rolling out for parents, which I'll touch on in a short while. He agreed, and that's when he shared his testimony. It wasn't easy for him, but he took advantage of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, and he reskilled, he retooled, he relearned, and right now he's ready. He's taking advantage of the sails, or of the wind. He's adjusted his sails.
He's adjusted the good to the good wind.
Yes.
All right. Time for us to take a break at 9:30. This is the Situation Room, Kenya's biggest conversation. Gilbert Mogambi Osoro is a patron of the Fourth Industrial Revolution Kenya, and Vincent Kuriobad is a director of Blockchain Analytica Consultants. We are talking about how Kenya can exploit the opportunities in the Fourth Industrial Revolution. This is disruptive technologies and what's happening. Are we prepared for this? Gilbert, I understand that you are somewhere along the coast of Mombasa, of Kenya. Is that true?
Yes, very true.
I want to entice you to take some time and drive down the Mombasa Malindi Road. Before you get to Kilifi, you'll get to a place called Vipingo.
I know Vipingo.
You know Vipingo. Now, Vipingo...
Yeah, I've been admiring.
You've been admiring Vipingo?
Yeah, my dream is one day to live in Vipingo Ridge, God willingly, in the fullness of time.
You can begin that by actually, first of all, living within Vipingo development by Centum Real Estate. You know, as you get off the highway highway to Kilifi, before you get to Vipingo Ridge, you'll get to this Vipingo by Centum Development. They've put up apartments, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, and studios, and they've also put up villas. Beautiful villas.
Oh, fantastic.
Which are very affordable. From 2.45 million shillings, you can start owning property in Vipingo. And this is being developed by Centum. And Centum Real Estate is, of course, anchored by Centum itself, which is a listed company, which is a big and dependable firm. So if you go there, as I'm encouraging you, do a drive down to Vipingo, get to Vipingo Development, enter there and ask them, okay, I'm here. Show me around. You will see the houses that they've already done, over 500 already done, and handed over to their owners. They're doing phase 2 now. And that's what they'd like you to book into.
Thank you, sir. I'll make sure I pay a visit and I'm well guided.
Tafadhali do that and you'll really benefit from it. Na utuambie, ukipata nyumba utuite holiday bwana tukuje.
I'll definitely invite you for the housewarming.
Very good. 28 minutes to 10. We'll be back shortly. Good morning.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
It's a magical Christmas at Westgate Shopping Mall. Spend 1,000 Kenya shillings and above and stand to win an all-inclusive Mediterranean cruise to the most beautiful cities in Europe. Visit Rome, Venice, Barcelona, and get to bring someone with you. You also have the chance to win once-in-a-lifetime balloon safari over the Masai Mara and a luxury stay at Marangecha Camp, and the opportunity to win 500,000 worth of luxury furniture from Queen Picks. It's magical, and it's all yours to experience simply by shopping at Westgate Shopping Mall.
It's that time of year again when our voices get to count. It's time for the Pulse Music Video Awards, the great edition to be held in Nairobi on the 21st of December. And we need to hear you louder than ever before. The names are out, and it's all up to you, the fans, to vote for the top artist of the year, best music video, song genres, music producers, video vixens, and more in the Kenyan music industry. you can visit www.standardmedia.co.ke/PMVA to vote just once, but still show some love for your favorites through text by sending the word PMVA followed by your nominee code to 22845 as many times as possible. Voting closes on 15th December, so you better start voting. Imeletwa kwako na Kenya Kane, the iconic Kenyan spirit. Pulse Music Video Awards, the only way to get alive.
Yolanda Mulo and DJ Absolute. When the gang is together, you know it's
Sugar and spice.
Great vibes, conversations, a lot of humor. I like to say we don't give an F, we give 3 Fs.
You and I are in this relationship, so it is me to tell you who we are.
When you ask a chick, how many guys have you been with? She's like, including you. If it's fun, it's funky, it's fresh, you're definitely going to catch it here. I don't know what you do every day from 11 a.m. to 3 o'clock. If I were you, I'd tune in to SpiceFM 94.4.
I want you on my team.
So does everybody else.
Yeah. All right. Looking at sunny conditions in Nairobi this morning, we'll go to highs of 25 and lows of 16. It's 18 and sunny in Nakuru, highs of 26, and we'll see highs of 24 in Nyeri, where it's sunny at 18. 18 and sunny in Eldoret, highs of 25, and 29 and partly sunny in Mombasa, highs of 31. We'll see highs of 32 in a sunny Malindi at 30. 23 and mostly sunny conditions in Kisumu, highs of 28, and it'll go to highs of 28 as well in a sunny Kakamega. 20 and rain showers in Kampala, highs of 28 and highs of 32 in a rainy Dar es Salaam. Currently at 29. It's 23 and sunny in Johannesburg, highs of 25, and 32 we'll see as the high in Lagos today. Mostly sunny at 24 in Kinshasa with highs of 31. It's -2 in Beijing into Thursday evening. Highs of -2 and lows of -11. -3 in a snowstorm in Paris, highs of 1 and lows of -3, and it's slightly colder at -4 in London. It'll go to highs of 2 and lows of -4. 1 degree and mostly clear Wednesday night in New York. Coming into Thursday, we'll see highs of 5 and lows of 1.
Spice up your life.
Not too bad traffic situation in most of these streets this morning. We're looking at it easing off a little bit here and there coming off of Thika Superhighway. But just as you get to that, Muthaiga Square is where you'll clog up some. Still doing the rounds on Jogger Road coming out towards Landis, which starts at the junction of the City Stadium roundabout, and it's crazy all through to Kamkunji. It's probably going to be that way for some time. We're looking into the city, going through to Westlands, coming off of Thika Superhighway. Traffic still continues, but the clock tells us that we'll be out of traffic hour soon. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. Let's see what happens where you are. Talk to us through the morning on SpiceFM KE on Twitter.
Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right. 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
The conversation continues with Vincent Kirioba, Director, Blockchain Analytica Consultants. And joining us via video link is Gilbert Mogambio Soro, the patron of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, City.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whenever one talks about revolutions, what you're talking about is a complete upheaval. Something that changes the way you understood life to be, or the way you went about doing things, and introducing something completely new. But usually there's a thread that ties all these changes. You began somewhere, then you moved to this, and there was a catalyst. There's something that made it possible for one to move from one stage to the other. So if we're talking about the Fourth Industrial Revolution, clearly there'll be a fifth.
Sure.
What can we anticipate with the fifth?
Okay, I'll take that one.
Yes.
Well, when we talk about the Fifth Industrial Revolution, it will be about the future in which humans and machines work synergistically. It will encompass the notion of harmonious human-machine collaborations with a specific focus on the well-being of the society. Let me just give an example. About in October, early October, we had a Paga surgery in which some 2-year-olds who had their skulls joined at birth separated. The operation took 28 hours and it was done in 16, participants were from 16 different locations. But how were they able to each participate in that surgery? Courtesy of virtual reality. So that's the point that I want to emphasize on. The fifth industrial revolution will involve human-machine collaboration. You may be here, and the doctor may be in Detroit, but he'll be able to undertake the process on you. It's happening right now, but they'll build up on that. They'll take it to the next level. Just to take you back, when Industrial Revolution started, it started with water, which powered the steam engine. Later on came the electricity. Later on came the electronics. Now we are talking about the Internet of Things. It keeps on, just going to the next level. Up and up.
The twin discussion with all this development is always the human factor. You talked about employment that will be available, and with employment that aligns itself to these changes comes the acquisition of new knowledge. Because in the absence of the acquisition of new knowledge, you will actually not fit in.
Yes.
But then there's always the issue of, yes, we talk about the wonderful measures, the wonderful things that these innovations bring about. But there is always a but. What when they don't work? What when whatever they were intended for doesn't quite happen the way it was purposed? But even more importantly, what really does the role of what, not just the industrialists, but the commercial interests of the industrialists, what does it play in all this progress? And how, if we can quantify, does it actually really benefit mankind?
Well, I got an answer to that. Gilbert, you want to go first or you want me to go first?
You can go first, but go first, then I'll respond.
Okay. The purpose of humanity since time in evolution is to better his lifestyle. He can do that through adapting or through bettering. Now, when technology comes, technology has that at the back of that's the driving force when it comes to technology. How, if this process takes me 1 minute, how can I make it to take half a minute? How can I make it to take 10 seconds? An example is, let me use an example of internet. What did internet do? It drastically reduced the time through which mail was sent and received. At the click of a button, mail is sent, leaves one point, and is received at the other point. Further the developments on internet led to what now we have: live streaming, social media platforms, and so forth and so forth. All these are for the betterment of humanity. But there's the other aspect. Wherever there is good, evil will always creep in.
Or is it evil that exists and then good creeps in?
I choose to look at it the other way. Because in creation, if you read Genesis, after God was done with the first day of creation, he said, and it was good. And it was good. And it was good. But when the devil emerges or enters the scene, deception starts. So good always
precedes.
It's the driving force.
But do remember that the devil was also God's creation. If you look
and he was
at
good.
that
And he was good and in good company.
Yes.
Yes. I remember that. And I'll really appreciate if you were to invite me now to Chambue Biblia. But for the sake of this one, I get your point. And you mentioned about the investor or
the commercial aspects,
interest,
because this particular age in which we live has been referred to as a communication age.
Yes.
And it's clear why it is a communication age, the driving power. Now, where I'm getting to, what I'm driving at is, when you talk about change, there is the issue, again, I said, of knowledge transfer. Let's call it that, okay? Now, you clearly have an idea of how that can be done. What is your process? What are these programs? What do you have in store so that we can actually go about this process of knowledge transfer so that people appreciate this age and this era that we're living in to the fullest?
Alvin Toffler, in his book,
what is that?
In his book, The Future Shock, said the illiterate of the 21st century will be those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. In other words, we need to reskill, retool, and relearn. And that's what we've done as Blockchain Analytica. We sat down with my brother Gilbert and said, it's not enough to keep on saying unemployment, meeting graduates who are frustrated. What can we do, me and you? What can we do? Can we pull our resources and see what we can do? And he said, yes. How? We started the Fourth Industrial Revolution Group, advocacy group, and we reached out to the churches first. Because that's where we found at least there's some level of organization amongst the youth. We had some webinars with them. They showed their willingness. We sponsored them. We offered them scholarships, which they gladly took. And to date, we've been able to offer 30 scholarships, and they have obtained certifications from international universities, and they are now working. Now, that's what I call reaching out and making the Fourth Industrial Revolution not only hit the ground, but be immediately beneficial to the early adapters.
Okay. Who will be the practitioners of this revolution in Kenya? Let's look at Kenya, for example. I mean, obviously, we're looking at a younger and younger age demographic. Those who are in school, you talked about those who are learning coding in school today, who then will be able to lend their hand towards processes. In the very near future, I mean, we have high school students who are earning from from coding today, right? So how else will we see this manifesting in the near future, or even?
I can take that one. Thank you. Now, for us to secure the gains of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, there must be a complete paradigm shift on the way it's education in this country. What is the education for the future for the Fourth Industrial Revolution? One, we need to redefine the purpose of education. Throughout time, the purpose of education has evolved based on the needs of society during that period. Education will need to support children to develop the skill set and the mindset to do anything in future rather than particular something. We need to align the education system to the requirements of the Fourth Industrial Revolution. We are talking of in education, and when I say science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we need to introduce STEM education in the curriculum across board, regardless of the level, age, and gender. Vincent has just said about Alvin Toffler, who said that you need to reskill and retool. It is said that when new technology is rolled out, you are either the road or the steamroller. Unless we change, we'll forever remain unchanged. The other thing I need to mention about is we need to develop human potential people that are agile or adaptable to change. And it is said, I think it's John Dewey who once said that if we teach today's children based on our learnings in the past, we will rob them of their future. We need to adapt to this lifelong change so as to come up with education that promotes creativity, curiosity, design thinking, which are essential for the Fourth Industrial Revolution. We need to make schools IT savvy. What am I saying? If you look at jurisdictions that have undergone momentous technological change, beginning from China, in China, kids in nursery are already doing artificial intelligence and robotic process automation. While the intention of CBC is good, we've started the baby steps of introducing coding. We need to take it to the next level. And I want to salute Mombasa County. Last year, They did launch a curriculum for artificial intelligence for early childhood, but I've not been able to go out and see what they are doing. But it is a step in the right direction. We need to be aware of what is happening in the rest of the world. We need to change higher education. I sometimes get worried when I pass by Kenya Cinema. There's a famous bench that is called the unemployment bench, whereby you come across young men carrying envelopes telling you that wanatafuta kazi. We keep wondering, what is this work they are looking at? Yet, there is work. The only point of variance is that the education they acquired is not aligned to the job landscape. We have a situation in the labor market referred to as skills mismatch. If you have time during your free time, you can read the Kenya Youth Policy Development Report that noted that youth aged between the age of 15 and 34 years form the highest percent of persons not in gainful employment, not in education or any training. And the current unemployment rate that stands at 10.4% notes that there is what we call labor underutilization, which stands at 17%. When we talk of labor underutilization, you find a graduate with even a master's student holder working as a guard. The education that he sought to acquire did not translate to gainful employment. We have so many instances of overqualified graduates who have decided for purposes of earning a living. And for your information, in the last report of the Kenya University Central Placement Report, over 5,600 students turned down admissions to public universities and instead opted to go for TVETs. I have to salute those students because they realize education is not only about acquiring papers. If you are to fulfill the objectives of education, then the papers must translate to gainful employment. Pass on to Vincent as I pause.
Just to add on to that, what is really emerging is that you cannot put new wine into old wineskins. The fourth industrial revolution has come with its own parameters and its own platform. That's why you can be here, but you can be working remotely. COVID was an eye-opener. Work from home brought the reality that really we can work from remote sites. I can be based here, but handling tasks in Australia or in any other 5 time zones. The point is this: are we preparing our youth to harness these new opportunities? Hosea 4 verse 6 says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." The purpose of education, as my brother said, Gilbert, is to replace an empty mind with an open one. Once that has been achieved, you will always take advantage of the good winds.
So if I was to ask you two gentlemen, because our topic today is whether Kenya is ready to exploit these opportunities of the fourth industrial revolution. So what is it that your advocacy group is doing? What do you do, the fourth industrial revolution advocacy group? What is your call to action? What do you want to see happening? And to be done by whom? When? Where?
Let me just go first and I'll say this. I always do my best to learn from the best so that I can better myself. With regards to technology, I tend to focus so much on what's happening in India. Look at any top tech firms. The CEOs have Indian origin, be it Microsoft, be it Google, up to November, be it Twitter, Visa, MasterCard. But this did not just happen in an instant. These are fruits of a long-term laid strategy which was commenced by their forefathers. What is happening right now is the foundation has been laid. The fruits may be harvested initially, but those are not the real deal. The real deal will come with generations after generations. So,
recording in progress.
To your question, what do we really do? There is need as an advocacy group to ensure that we have a policy framework in place. Is that true? Yes. That's why the theme for 59th Jamhuri Day was innovate. 2, there is need for this policy to permeate throughout all sectors of the economy, be it manufacturing, be it biotech, be it agriculture. 3, there is need for this paradigm to trickle down till mama mboga huko chini. Why? That way then there can be the awareness that this is the way it's happened. This is not something alien. This is not something that will be misconceived to create future havocs. 4, the government has already created the regulatory framework. It's upon now, myself and you, to ask ourselves, what can I do for my nation? Not what can my nation do for me? If I take my baby steps, or if I take my little and add to your little, kidogo kidogo, hujaza kibaba.
But Vincent, revolutions, as we've described them so far, are sort of like demand-driven. It's not people sitting and thinking, I need to do something. It's because people thinking, I have a problem, and I'm looking for a solution. And in the pursuit of a solution, revolutions happen. Now, if this one is happening in the country, if all these things are happening, why is it that not more people are actually getting involved? It can't be because, I want to be patriotic, so I'll get myself into the wheel of industrial revolution.
Before I let Gilbert answer, I made a point here. Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. This information about fourth industrial revolution, the job landscape, the future of jobs has not reached every person. Otherwise, they will have adjusted their sails to the good wind, and unemployment will have become something of the past. Gilbert, will you add something?
Gilbert, you can hear us?
Maybe he can't.
Maybe he can't.
It's something to do with our system.
Okay.
From what I hear, Vincent.
Yes, sir.
Is that the two of you are essentially evangelists.
Praise God.
Yes. And you are charting a path and saying, hear ye, this is the way, walk ye in it. Now, that I think is good, because sometimes it is good for someone to tell you what is coming, what to expect, and how it will look like, and more precisely what it will do for you. It is a good thing. Even as you've embarked on this journey, can you tell us of people who've actually consumed this knowledge, people who have had this born-again experience of understanding what the revolution is and what it is that they've done with it? Because you didn't start yesterday, you didn't start today. It's something you've been doing for some time.
Thank you, Muga. Like I told you earlier, we sat down with my brother Gilbert and said, no, we can't keep on saying that the graduates are unemployed and frustrated. We started a program as Blockchain Analytica. We offered 20 scholarships initially, and later on added 10 to a total of 30 scholarships. We went to the churches, because at least we understand how churches operate, and reached out to the youth, and we offered them those scholarships. We trained them.
Scholarships for what exactly?
In data science.
Okay.
And we offered the training, and they got the certification. And the best part is 10 of them are working, and one of them will soon be moving to a multinational, earning more than $3,000 a month. That is the little that we could do, but leading the people on the road to
Damascus.
Thank you. Gilbert wants to speak, but I don't know.
there's something wrong with our system.
Yeah, our internet connection is also horrible. But also, we're coming to the end of the show. And we thank you very much, Vincent and Gilbert, for joining us today and for sharing everything that you've shared with us. Your parting shots.
I got 2 parting shots. One, this is the best time to be alive because opportunities are abundant. I'm 51 years old, but I've never enjoyed life like I've done in the last 5 years. Why? I chose to reskill, retool, and relearn. Point number 1. Point number 2, let's each support one another. Let's not just wait for the organization or for the big organization, the government, to do this. Let's support the government. They've already made the step, and I know by June next year we'll be singing a different song. Lastly, God no make no junk. God created you in his image, so you are also a co-creator. Don't go with the flow. Pick out and create.
Create. Be different.
Thank you.
Vincent Kirioba is the director of Blockchain Analytica Consultants. And we also had Gilbert Mogambi Osoro, who is the patron of the 4th Industrial Revolution. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. And thank you very much for tuning into the Situation Room today. We'll be back tomorrow morning. It's Friday, the 16th of December. We'll be here from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Have a lovely day, people. It's now 10 o'clock.
Spice up your life